Welcome everybody to our latest session of our homebrew D&D 5e campaign, the Restoration of Cariele. As usual, we'll do a quick recap of what occurred last week, and then we will get started. So last week was a interesting session. We picked up in the, I believe we started off, we were in the Bear Cave area. So you guys had made your way through. I'm kind of summarizing here recent events. As you guys made your way through the cave, eventually went down to the lower level. You guys had run into some different creatures down here, as well as this green slime on the ceiling. I believe where last session actually picked up is right where Vin was wounded from the falling green slime. So he had been lying on the ground. You guys had just applied some healing to him, and that is where we picked up. So as you guys were deciding what to do, this voice emerged from the cave just to the north. It was a woman's voice, or at least it sounded like one. And as you guys were debating about whether or not to leave, this voice suggested that, yeah, you probably shouldn't leave. You're leaving too soon. Obviously, somewhat strange to randomly hear a voice down in the cave when you hadn't expected anybody to be there. But yeah, that's what it was. So after some discussion amongst yourselves and talking back and forth with this voice, it became pretty obvious that this voice belonged to a woman, and she seemingly was looking for a big, strong man to enter the cave with her. You guys discussed amongst yourselves what that exactly meant. Tavern at first suggested that he would go first, but he was telling the voice, like, hey, I'm not interested in anything, in that regard. But the voice then said she could hear caramel, the dwarven language, on his tongue and wasn't particularly interested in dwarves. And so then Blixel volunteered to head on in. So I would say Blixel was pretty hesitant here as he was discussing with this voice and kind of trying to make sure he had a good understanding of what was occurring on the other side of this. Was this some kind of danger? Was it a creature? What was it? And eventually he climbed through the tunnel of the cave and made his way to the other side, where he found a very attractive looking woman who was dressed in these sort of clad attire and had this sort of long kind of white robes, that sort of stuff. And she was, sort of interested in Blixel at this point, mentioned that she, liked his appearance and took a pretty quick liking to him, and very quickly told him to strip his clothes off and essentially led him further into the cave. So he was kind of calling back and trying to give you guys some clear directions as far as what exactly it was that you guys were expecting and so forth. So as Blixel and this woman, who you later learned her name was Garnica, her and Blixel retired to this cave. You guys kind of waited outside for about 25-30 minutes or so before Blixel finally emerged and seemed pretty happy with himself and crawled back through the cave. As seemingly Blixel and this woman had engaged in a tryst, and the two of them then exited out of the cave, and you guys continued speaking with her. You guys, again, that's where you learned her name was Garnica, and she looked for the individual who had said that they were related to the wood carver, because the journal that you guys previously found indicated that the druid that was down here had located a wooden toggle that was carved and had a maker's mark on it, which Serena assumed to be her brother, Alistair. And it turned out that that was indeed accurate, as Garnica had in her possession this wooden toggle, and she handed it over to Serena once Serena identified herself as the woodcarver's kin. So with that complete, she then made her way back over and explained that, she was looking for something important down here. She didn't really want to get into the details. You guys pressed a little bit, what are you looking for? She was a little bit reluctant to say exactly, and you guys were, particularly Vin, was a little bit reluctant to specify exactly what you guys were doing here. She was curious if you were in league with the loggers, and eventually you guys decided that she would head up and speak with Stinky, who was her awakened bear, and let him know not to go into the camp and look for food any longer, so that the loggers didn't have to worry about the bear as a threat. You guys decided to go with her. You guys made your way back around the tunnel, and as you guys were getting a bit split up here, we had Blixel, who stepped somewhat close to the watery area in the little passage down here, And this creature then leapt out of the water and struck Blixel, attacking him. And we found ourselves in combat. So the party was able to deal a pretty good amount of damage to this creature while it was trying to do what it could to hurt Blixel. Eventually, as the creature was nearly dead, Garnica turned the corner, blasted 3 of these frost bolts essentially towards the creature, and seemingly did very significant amount of damage to destroy the creature, which sort of reinforced the earlier point that Celine had mentioned, that a druid capable of casting the Awaken spell is a very powerful spellcaster, and you guys should be careful around such a person. With that complete, then Garnica said you guys should stay closer, made her way back to the rope. She climbed first while you guys were down at the bottom. Vin indicated he held onto the rope to make sure she couldn't just pull it back up behind her. And she went up. You guys heard the sound of some combat. And eventually you guys climbed up after her and found these, what Celine was able to identify as giant assassin bugs, frozen solid, seemingly victims of Garnica's magic. You guys then made your way through the tunnel back into the original area of the bear cave, where you found that Stinky had shed his ropes. He was no longer bound where you had left him, but as Garnica called out for him, he was actually on the other side of the cave where you guys had originally found Caleb. He made his way over after she called out to him, and she essentially told him, yeah, don't go into the loggers cave encampment anymore, and make sure to leave those people alone, and that she would provide food for him another way. We had Vin offering to provide a cave fisher leg to Stinky, but Stinky didn't seem to be particularly interested in it. And in fact, Garnica shook her head, letting Stinky know not to eat it. She said that she would get food elsewhere. So with that resolved, you guys sort of made a quick agreement that your team would head back to the loggers camp and let them know not to worry about the cave. Just don't come in here any longer. She would let Stinky know not to head over there anymore, and that should seal the agreement. Then Blixel asked her if he could come visit her again, and she said something along the lines of, if you're interested for round 2, feel free to find me tomorrow or whenever. And then, yeah, she would be down there as she's trying to find her passage into these sealed doors that she had told you guys about. She mentioned that magic didn't seem to be able to open these doors, and she was struggling to get through them. You guys then questioned about whether or not the doors had keyholes. She said they did, and whether they were very large, as you guys have this one very large key in your possession. And she said no, they seem to be pretty typical and presumably like silver keys, something along those lines, based on her knowledge. With that complete, you guys also asked her, I think it was Vin once again, who asked her about these unmarked coins that you guys had found here at the loggers camp up above on the second level. And she indicated that unmarked coins like this are commonplace in the Five Peaks, which you guys know very little about, but it's just a very chaotic place ruled by generally evil humanoids or other humans that form tribes, and it's not really a country per se, though it's depicted as one. It's a very rough and wild area. With that complete, you guys made your way out of the bear cave and back towards the loggers camp proper. As you guys got back towards the loggers camp, you guys then decided to enjoy some R&R back at the camp. So you ate some food, did some drinking. Vin had the cave fisher cooked up, and I believe most of you guys dipped into that. It turned out, and Celine was able to know this from her knowledge, but I don't think she necessarily shared this part, but the cave fisher is sort of like a delicacy, and its meat tastes like it is cooked in wine. So your team all enjoyed some of that, and eventually everybody slept through the night and woke up early the next morning, or at least you thought it was early. I believe the first person that woke up was Vin. And the first thing he noticed when he woke up was this very heavy fog that hung in the area. It was so thick, in fact, that you could barely see 15 feet in front of you. So you guys had to be pretty close together to make sure not to be losing sight of one another. You guys started kind of, stretching your arms and legs, that kind of thing. However, you then heard the sound of grumblings from the loggers themselves. It seemed like they were in a very sour mood, very upset and angry, and some of them seemingly were pointing at the newcomers, who you guys suppose was you, as far as like bringing this bad luck of this fog and so forth. You guys then tried to make your way over and get a better look at the loggers, as you couldn't even see them through this thick fog. Eventually, you were able to see them. They were clustered in different areas and seemingly talking with one another. Some of them, again, just very depressed and despondent, while others were like, "Guys, it's just fog. I don't understand what you're worried about this so much. It's not nothing too crazy. Obviously, fog isn't good, but it's not like crazy. However, during the same time, Saline was able to determine, based on some of her knowledge from apocryphal stories of Roranil, that there is a creature known as a falsifier fog that takes advantage of foggy conditions and sort of sails through them. And its sole purpose in its existence is to cause despair and anguish to those that it floats around and essentially touches in its foggy form. And she presumed that this is what was causing all of these individuals then to react so negatively. She also knew that falsifier fogs are pretty powerful, and that if you try to attack it or draw its a presence, so like make sure if it knows that you know it's there, it might lash out. And she knew it to be a very strong opponent, so she decided not to draw attention to herself. However, it sort of drifted along, touching upon each of you. Some of you resisted its effects. Others of you saw some of your worst fears manifested in the fog. We had Serena at one point becoming catatonic. We had Blixel go into a rage as he saw the corpse of his mother on the ground and took out his anger at the loss of her to anybody that was closest to him, which was mostly you guys, as you tried to calm him down. You guys eventually knocked him out and then tried to sort of tie him up, which you did a quick job of. Surprisingly, during this time, a random freak lightning storm also broke out overhead, and bolts of lightning started to come cascading down in this area and striking this area, and actually only damaged a tent for the most part. And then near the end of this freak lightning storm, it also happened to strike two of our player characters, but for, I will say, minor or medium damage, which is not too bad, like didn't straight up kill anybody. So yeah, you guys, after that was done and the falsifier fog was seemingly gone, as Saline could no longer spot it, you guys decided that it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to try to move out of here in this thick fog, not being able to see anything. So last I heard, your plan was to try to wait this fog out, depending on however long that takes. So guys, that's my quick recap. Is there anything anybody like to add to our recap before we move on? Oh, and just okay, so I'm seeing that Blixel posted I might not be hearing you guys. So yeah, that would be problematic. One sec, guys. All right, I think I got that fixed. Does somebody want to say something real quick?
Testing.
Got you guys. Hopefully you guys heard all that recap. Otherwise, that was a whole lot of waste of time.
We didn't finish the recap, Adam. Yeah. Hey, you guys tried getting at Brian, but you wouldn't get Adam.
Let's see. Something to add? I don't know if you mentioned how Blixel got into the cave, and maybe you did, but what's her name did a mistletoe spell or something, and that was something of significance to kind of discourage the green slime from dropping down on us.
Yes, I didn't mention that part specifically, so yep, good addition. Go ahead and take inspiration, Baron. Indeed, as the green slime was covered the ceiling above the cave entrance, you guys were not wanting to go under it after you had seen what had happened to Vin. So Blixel asked if there was some way he could safely pass through, and eventually, after a bit of back and forth, she caused a gust of wind to bring small chopped up sprigs of mistletoe in the area, and that kind of covered the ground with a very fine smattering of this mistletoe, and seemingly that prevented the green slime from falling down when Blixel passed underneath. Anybody else have anything to add?
I don't necessarily know if it's inspiration worthy, but I do think it's keynote worthy. Is that the key that we inherited, Baron and I, when Tegan gave it to us, is a stone key. It's not similar to the key she's looking for, so we found out that she's looking for something slender and brass. We didn't really get too much information on where to look, but we assume it's probably deeper into the cave. But just a heads up, it's not the same key.
Correct. Yep. And quite a quick clarification. She suggested that it probably would be a silver key that she would be looking for these doors as opposed to brass. But yep. Anybody else have anything to add?
Just real quick, was it a pair of keys, Adam? I was trying to remember.
So she indicated that there are 2 doors, but presumably, unless it's really strange, a single key would open either door.
Okay, perfect.
Just did you mention that she said she came from the north, or cold kingdom?
I did not. She actually did not say she came from the north. She said she came from the far, far east, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
But she did indeed come from a cold area. Did you have anything else you want to add to that to try to push that into inspiration?
Just that she didn't seem affected by how cold it was in the cave at all, and sort of intimated that this was nothing to her, basically.
That'll do the trick. So go ahead and take inspiration there, Blixel. Right, so what Blixel noticed is that she was not wearing nearly as heavy clothing as the rest of you are. So the temperature in this area right now, think of this as being kind of like fall period of time. So you're looking at anywhere between high 30 degrees to mid to high 40 degrees is pretty typical for this time of year. And she's wearing these kind of exposed skin in certain areas, like on her forearms or at her ankles, that kind of thing. And most people would not be out like that in this type of weather. And yeah, it didn't seem to bother her at all. Okay, if there is nothing else to add, let's go ahead and dish out a card for everybody.
I know we can't talk about current cards, but Adam, the last 3 sessions you've given me a red card, so let's shuffle them up a little bit, yeah? Come on.
I don't have a button for super shuffle, unfortunately, so let's see what happens. Okay, so everybody should have their card, and yeah, I think we are good to go. So let's get you guys back over to the map.
Are we still in turn order?
You are not. So we quickly finished off the end of that battle, if you guys will recall. So the fog is still out, but you guys are out of turn order.
Then I'd like to cast the spell as I try to revigorize myself.
Okay, you cast the spell, speaking some words, motioning with your hands, and holding up this sort of alcohol or other bottle, and you notice some of the loggers kind of hear you and glance your way, but most of them you can't even see through this fog.
Going to kind of put my hands on Darvin's shoulders over here and kind of give him a shimmy. Does it seem like he's kind of breaking out of his stupor a little bit?
He seems like he's kind of focused on the water, and you can see his eyes are like blinking pretty rapidly, and then he starts like shaking his head as though he's trying to shake off maybe a bad hangover.
Hold on. What? Okay, well, I need to find Serena. She's catatonic. So, is she still catatonic, Adam? Do you remember if... I don't remember if you said that these effects have ended or if they're still going.
Essentially, they ended right when we ended, so you can think of them as both having just snapped out of this.
Okay, then never mind. Okay, sorry, Dylan.
No, you're fine. Darvin? Excuse me. Darvin.
Yes. And you see he kind of shakes his head, and he starts scratching at the back of his head, putting his hand through his hair. Yes, what is it?
Are you okay?
I feel like I've just got a splitting headache. I just... Martha? And you see he looks to the woman standing next to you, and you see she's just kind of staring at the two of you, and you see he steps closer towards her, and he says, Martha, you're hurt. And you see he reaches out and touches to her shoulder, where you notice that there is this like shard of rock that is embedded in her shoulder, and there's a small trickle of blood just kind of running down her arm, though she doesn't seem to notice it.
Oh, man.
He says, "Come on, come with me. Let's get you to Denise." You see he grabs her by the arm and kind of starts leading her over.
Can I just take some time, Adam, to go through these camp members over here and check them all, make sure they're woken up and none of them have any shards of rock lodged in them or anything like that?
You get a similar kind of feeling here, or kind of impression from these individuals, as you can see that some of them are still kind of like foggy headed, and they're kind of shaking their heads or looking around. You see some of them are actually still like kind of babbling, but really, really quietly that it's hard to hear. Like you can just hear them like speaking in a like quiet droning voice almost to the ground, but it's very slow as they do so. And then occasionally you'll see like one of them who's just like eating a bowl of stew and doesn't seem like he has any idea really what's going on.
Do we remember what we saw?
You do, yes.
Hey, Blixel, did you get your right mind together? Can I untie your hands now?
I assume Blixel's still sort of like smoking and like steaming a little bit from being hit by lightning. So he just sort of squirms on the ground and goes, "What happened?"
You're talking crazy. You're accusing me of killing your mother. And you were going after all kinds of people. I had to, like, get in the way so you wouldn't cut down the entire village.
I saw something. I saw something in the fog, man.
Well, just
So-
for the
Those
record,
ghouls, right?
just for the record, I didn't kill your mother. I think she might be still alive.
Okay.
Come here, let me cut those off you, and I'll take the hand. I'll untie him, of course.
Okay, yeah, you take a moment to untie him, loosening those bonds.
Brother, I lost you in the fog. Are you okay? What happened to you guys here?
Yeah, I'm fine. Blixel just lost his mind. I kind of felt a little tug in myself in this fog. It was a nasty fog.
For a moment, I saw myself old and withered, but then I shook it off and I found Darwin. He's safe, and most of the members of the camp are either shaken or like nothing happened at all.
Hey, Adam, is the tent still on fire?
It is not. No, you guys. I'm presuming that between you and maybe one of the closer loggers kind of like snuffed it out, but that tent you can assume is completely burnt.
Okay, cool.
Saline,
Yes, Finn?
before we got split up, I could see in your eyes you saw something. Care to explain what you saw?
Did you see the ghouls too?
What are you talking about, ghouls?
I think it makes you see your fear. If she saw ghouls, and you saw your mother dying, and I saw myself getting old, unaccomplished, I think there are fears. What did you see, Celine?
Well, I started to see my friends fall around me and unable to protect them. But these are just visions, like you said, of our fears. It'll pass in time. But
What do you mean, just visions? Has this happened to you before? This fog is weird.
it hasn't happened to me before, but I've read about this kind of thing. We handled it as best we could without making things worse. is what I'll
Well,
say.
was it a creature or was it just the fog? It's something we should warn folks about.
I get the sense that it's not here anymore, right? Like, it definitely moved on, Adam?
You believe so. Again, your vision's very limited, so you
Yeah.
can't see far, but you haven't seen it in a significant period of time now.
I will just say, well, it has to do with the fog, yes, but I think we're okay for now. We can talk about it more once I'm sure this is over.
I might need to sit down for a second. I'm pretty badly hurt.
All right. Well, take your time, Blixel. There's a few of the camp members who seem to have gotten hurt in the blast as well. Lightning at the same time, though. That was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if that lightning starts hitting again, I think I'm diving into a tent or something. But I'm gonna go sit down over there. And Blixel will he'll cast prestidigitation on himself just to like clean up any like jar marks and dirt from being hogtied on the ground. And then he'll go sit down with the other shell shocked loggers.
Okay, yeah, so
And
your prestidigitation, of course, will do the trick to give you a quick cleanup. Yeah, and as you're kind of making those preparations, you hear the sound of this guy kind of like coughing, and he begins to sing the song. And it's kind of low at first, but he's like trying to pick up the tempo, and you see him like kind of walk around. Well, actually, none of you guys can probably see him from exactly where you are, but you can hear him moving about. And you can hear him saying, come on, get into it. And he starts like pushing other people. And you can see occasionally other people start doing like these claps, or they're hitting their hands onto their knees. And you can see it almost seems like this is like draining out of everybody slowly. Some of them very slowly.
Blixel will play his hand drum to help accompany the guy.
Okay, yeah. So you start adding to the tune.
And then at some point, I hope to try to get a short rest so I can heal a little bit.
Okay, and yeah, is there anything else anybody's doing other than just kind of waiting here and listening to the loggers?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm standing watch even if it's only 10 feet.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay close to everybody with how thick the fog is. We don't really want to lose track of anybody, so.
I'm just trying to get my head straight.
You know what, Adam? I'll sit down and take a rest with Blixel as well, and I'll spend one of my short rest also, if possible, of course.
Yep, yeah. So Blixel and Vin.
I'll take one too.
Okay, so the three of you start a short rest, and yes, you guys were able to complete this without much issue.
And I don't think I have the Song of Rest yet as a bard, so otherwise I would do it.
And then after that hour, I think my false life lasts an hour. Should I just what should I do about that? I'm afraid it doesn't log down everything.
So honestly, if you're not in combat, I'm fine with you. And again, just type it that you're doing it. But because you can use it an unlimited number of times, I'm okay with you just taking the maximum, assuming that you have, you're casting over and over until you get the maximum value.
Yeah, let's just do that, and then I don't have to keep doing it all day.
Right. Obviously, if you get hit in battle, I'm going to expect you to say that you cast it again, right? But in like this kind of scenario, you're not in trouble or anything, then yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, thanks.
You've always been a better healer than me, brother. Your bumps and bruises. So, Adam, after the hour, has the fog decreased any?
No. After the hour passes, the fog's still thick.
Well, we can sit around all day. Or, I have an idea. We could go speak to Garnica and ask her about this creature that climbed out of this tree. She may be able to give us some ideas on how to get rid of it.
Yeah, I'm down to visit Garnica again. Do you guys have something to read or something?
Not that kind of visit.
Well, you know what they say about two birds? They're better than one bird.
Yeah, I was wondering where you were going with that. Anybody?
I mean, I'm fine with visiting her again. That's my vote.
Can't imagine there's no fog in the cave, right?
Yeah, or at least maybe she knows what the heck's going on.
Anybody disagree?
Nope.
Oh yeah, two quick things also, guys. Really quick, out of character or out of game type of things. One, to make sure that if I'm sending people messages, they're getting them. Do you guys prefer if I send you whispers in Roll20 or through Discord?
I will hear Discord way more likely than seeing it in the Roll20 chat because sometimes it lags for me.
My Discord alerts me so with the audible tone, so I'll take that.
Me as well.
So that's 50%. Can we get everybody agreement for Discord? Does that work for everybody?
Adam, I pay attention to everything you do, so I'm not like the other ones that are 50%ers, you know?
I would say I would notice it more on Roll20, but if it's better for Discord for everybody, I can just do Discord.
Sounds good. Do you guys hear that sound?
Yeah, that was not timed well at all, was it? But the other thing I wanted to mention really quick was the other thing I want to say just really quick out of game is I noticed some people are struggling with like the speed or keeping up kind of thing. And because some of these maps are really big, I think Explorer mode's probably killing our performance. So I have gone ahead and turned that off for now, and we'll see if that makes anything better. Let me know at the end of the session if you guys, if the performance was better. But please continue with Serena's statement there.
I mean, it's really foggy out, but it sort of sounds like the loggers are back at it. I mean, didn't Darvin go into like the med tent?
He just walked to the north. He just walked by us not too long ago. Like, I'm gonna point to the north. He must be up there.
I saw him go that way as well.
I guess you just work in the snow and in the rain and the fog.
I mean, it seems kind of dangerous to fell trees when you can't see where they're gonna land.
Nothing stops dwarves either. I mean, heck, cave in doesn't matter. You still gotta move the debris. So, logger's probably the same thing.
Okay, I can't see it. I see his name. Oh, he must be at the top here, right?
I'll move him one more to the north to make it easier to see.
There we go. I'm gonna approach him and be like, "Are you guys logging in this weather?"
And keep in mind that while you're having this conversation, there's this song going on and people are clapping and that sort of thing. So he kind of lowers his ear and hears what you're saying and then looks at you and shakes his head. We are not going to cut now. That would be too dangerous.
So can I hear, like, as I've moved this distance, have I heard the sound coming from any particular direction?
Based on your previous check, it's hard to say because of all the other sort of competing sounds in this area. You've got water coming down nearby you. You've got the song going on. You kind of just heard it for a second and then it was like overwhelmed by these other sounds. So no, you can't pinpoint where it's coming from.
Okay, I was gonna walk around the perimeter to see if I could hear it again and possibly go to the gates to see if I can hear it coming from outside.
All right, I'm going to lock the tokens momentarily. When you say walk the perimeter, give me an idea of which way you're walking the perimeter. Okay, so the perimeter, gotcha. Okay. All right, so I'm going to assume then that that has occurred. You've walked the perimeter, and I'm going to give you another. Give me a blind check, and we'll see if you happen to hear this again.
Adam, I would have been walking with her. Like I said that I wanted us to stay together. So once I would have seen her like go into Serena alert mode, I would have been right with her. Just to clarify.
Okay, sure. Yep. So you are walking with her. You're not really sure why, but yeah, you see her kind of just walking the perimeter. When you get to about over here, Serena, so I'm going to move the two of you then if you're walking together, you hear a sound that is not exactly what you heard before, but you can hear a sound now coming from your northeast.
Shall we investigate, boss?
Well, let's get everybody first.
Okay.
Stay right there. I'm gonna run and grab everybody. Oi,
What's going on?
follow.
Where are we going?
Over here. Well, I've been hunting with Serena a long time, and sometimes she just kind of goes into these modes where she like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like ultra instinct. Well, she's been hearing something over here, and I heard it too.
You guys hear that?
What is it?
You
What is
don't
it?
hear it now, Serena.
All right. Well, I think it was this direction. Can I cross this bridge?
You can, and as you start to, you hear the sound of the wood sagging underneath your footsteps, and you realize that is what you just heard.
Like I heard the sound of somebody going across it.
Yes.
What if this is the one who's going for his payment? I can sneak ahead. Try to follow.
Does the bridge seem like safe?
Would you like to
Because
take some time to investigate it to see if you can spot any weaknesses or anything like that?
yeah, because I'm a little nervous about the fact that I heard sawing earlier.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and give me another blind check. So you guys would notice as Serena kind of stops here and is looking to try to eye this. Again, very difficult, Serena, with this really heavy fog. So you kind of are looking at the planks. Maybe you test it with your foot. You look off to the side. You know, the water here is probably only 4 feet or 5 feet deep. So it's not like if it broke, you would die or anything like that. But on a quick look here and based on very limited vision from the fog, you don't see anything wrong with it.
All right, I'm gonna walk across it.
Well, what if we found our saboteur?
Okay, guys, seems safe. Come on over.
Can't be safe. He just locked the darn tokens.
It's not safe. It's not safe.
I was like, why did I bounce back?
That was a quick group check to make sure that you guys didn't keep moving. Okay, so yeah, feel free to continue moving. Blixel, as you get to about there, you notice again through the difficult ability to see of the fog, you see a muddy boot prints leading back towards the way you just came.
Oh, there's some boot prints leading the other way. See those? In the mud.
Well,
Yeah.
They were going the other way.
Somebody just passed right by us?
Yeah. Maybe they were invisible, but it's hard to see in this fog, too.
Everybody's
I don't-
invisible.
Can
I'm
I
running back
see
this way.
over here, Adam? If I can go and check this platform that starts to go up, can I see those same muddy footprints? Like, are they coming from down this way?
Throw me a blind check, Vin. And Blixel, are you trying to follow those footprints?
Yes.
They actually lead in the wooden brush and rocks that are just east of that large rock. So it looks like whoever left walked north around that rock. Vin,
In the water?
right up against the shore, but yes. Vin, you don't spot anything over here as you're looking.
I'm going to follow the path that they took then.
Okay, yeah, it seems to lead right around this large rock.
Who's gonna go with Blixel? I'll stay with the boss.
I'll go with Blixel, but I lost where he went.
Well, the boss says in this weather we should all stay together, so we'll all follow Blixel.
And as you get to about here, Blixel, you notice that the ground here is kind of soft and there's just so many footprints as there's dozens of people that walk in this area on a general basis. You can't follow a trail from here.
Okay. Is there enough of a footprint to, like,
Get his shoe
determine, is it a woman? Is it a small person's foot? You know, etc.
I would say based on what you can see, you would assume an average human-sized boot size.
Okay. Okay. I look at everybody and go, trail's gone cold. What do we do?
Well,
Well,
is the bridge fixed? Where did he come from?
what
Before the
was he
fog,
sawing?
before the fog rolled in, did we see anything over there that would suggest that people might have business over there other than to go up the ramp, or no?
You're talking about when you were up there previously?
I'm talking about when we were in camp. I know at one point we looked to see if the bridge is fixed, and it wasn't back when we last checked it. But what I'm
Correct.
asking is there anything that we saw over here, like on this other shore, that would um, give someone a reason to be over there other than to ascend the ramp? Does that make sense?
Yes, nothing that comes to mind. There's nothing over there that looks fun other than maybe someone walking over to take a leak or something like that. You don't think so?
Maybe
the
it's
boot-
nothing. Just
Just to
somebody who was scared of the fog and then came back with hear the sound of the drums.
Just to clarify,
Right.
Adam, it went like this.
It's weird that he went around the rock, though.
Yes.
I don't know.
Well,
Someone's over there. Just keep your eyes on it. Make sure nothing's gotten sabotaged for us to fall. Break our neck.
we still haven't discovered who Laura, as I'm walking back over, who Laura, well, services rendered person is.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That might be them. Maybe they're, but, they're sneaking around. Whoever they are.
Tavert is currently climbing on a massive rock.
Of course I am.
He likes
What
stones,
dwarves
man.
do.
That's
You
what
know
Playing
why?
King of the
Because
Hill.
it's fair.
Well, what I've learned about tracks is they go two ways. If the trail's going cold this way, maybe we try to pick it up on the other side. See what goes from there. Where did they come from? Are they intruders?
And yeah, I mean, Blixel's trying to scan any supports, make sure nothing's been sabotaged to fall and break too, as he's walking along now.
From the bridge?
Yeah, the bridge and up on the ramp, up on the hill too. Like trying to look at it from where he is. I know it's foggy, so it's hard to see, but as much as he can before they get to it.
Okay, sure. Throw me a blind check, Blixel. Nothing that you can see. As you get to this area, Blixel, you do notice the presence of sawdust underneath the rampart here.
Blixel takes a finger, like wipes it through it, and licks it, and goes, "It's pure.
Hey,
We got sawdust over here, guys."
why do you
We-
lick everything?
I don't know if you can tell, but we've been watching Narcos.
That's the best way to tell if it's wood or not. Or if it's like a
Sabotage.
magical dust that'll like enchant me. Who knows? But yeah, it's wood. It looks like it came from up there.
Yeah, can we see if we look up at him? Can we see or where the rampart may have been cut?
So there are supports that are built into the rock wall that then support this rampart going up. Based on where the sawdust, it looks like it comes from the two closest ones to you here. So basically just east of Blixel and northeast of Blixel, you can think of it as. But when you look at them, they don't look cut.
You think we should bring Darwin into this now?
I do.
I think
At camp?
we might want to figure out, make sure they're actually cut though. You know?
Yes, but if we do that, you may have a platform fall upon your head, Blixel.
Does anyone have any way to like get up there without us going on the platform? Just to check out the supports?
Yeah, let me cast fly real quick.
Well, hey, we have someone who built it. What if we bring them over to inspect it? Wouldn't that be the smart thing? It may
Yeah.
just be
Yeah, sure.
casting aspersions, but I mean, we also have a bag of unmarked coins and a letter for payment for services rendered. I mean, this is enough proof altogether that he may indeed have someone trying to sabotage his establishment.
I'm all for taking the cat out of the bag.
Well, maybe before we show our hand completely, maybe we should do what Vin said and find like the expert or the builder or whatever, and have him or her or them look at it and
Does
see if
anyone
they think
remember? They said, who did they say built it? He told us before, didn't he?
he he told us that someone had built the outpost up at the top. I think it started with an H. Do I
I
remember?
thought it was Blixel's mother. And he'll smile at you, Blixel.
Uh, well,
What?
not,
Mom
now that I think
jokes
about
are
it,
out of bounds with Blixel, just so everyone knows.
My mother. Oh, come on, man.
Serena asked Darwin if anyone would be doing any logging today, and he said no. So shouldn't we assume if we find someone covered in sawdust or perhaps uh, with said saw that we can maybe track them down?
I feel like they'd be careful enough to not have sawdust all over them, but they left a little bit of
I
evidence.
might be able to smell it on him.
Well, they haven't had to be careful before. We just showed up now. They may not cover their tracks as much as they think. I mean, Blix will follow this trail in this thick fog. He hid his freaking lockbox under a bedroll. I mean, gosh.
Yeah, I mean they literally didn't cover their tracks. I found their tracks. So they might be stupid enough. Let's go report it and get the person and then see if there's anybody covered in any dust.
Anyone disagree?
Nope, let's go.
Brother, do you like being the anchor? You're always in the back.
Just making sure no one falls behind.
I did the same when we were babies. You herded me like cattle. I didn't mind it. I'm glad to see that it's a trait that's worn off well on you.
Adam, as I'm going through here, can Blixel look to see if there's any, like, a saw or anything, like, tucked away behind this rock?
Sure, yeah, blind check. Not that you can see. You kind of poke and prod in this area, but no, you don't find one.
Okay.
The sound of the song has faded, but you can still hear these sort of clapping, and then after this like rhythmic clapping seems to come to a pause, you can hear all of them start to give out weak or stronger cheers, as it seems as though their spirits have been roused a bit at this point.
So that was. Am I to infer, Adam, that maybe that was a distraction and someone took that moment, like the whole camp was around the playing of the singing and all that?
Well, obviously you can infer whatever you like because that's like part of making decisions, right? But if you're saying, does that seem suspicious to you? I would say not just from that itself.
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you this: was the majority of the camp gathered around this person that was singing and all that?
I wouldn't say the majority, and keeping in mind how limited your visibility is right now, even if they were, you wouldn't even know.
How long was the song? Is it reasonable to think that someone could have snuck off during it, sawed a bunch of stuff, and come back?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Start looking for anyone with sawdust on them, but not overtly, I guess.
Are you gonna lick their boots? I mean, you seem to like licking sawdust. I don't know.
I'll work my way into that.
Yeah, Adam, I'm gonna do like like just a visual inspection. Like I'm checking them for wounds to make sure ain't nobody got hurt. I'm gonna walk around. That lightning didn't get you, right? Ugh, and kind of give them a little shake and make sure everybody looks okay. And then at the same time, what I'm really trying to do is look for sawdust.
All right, sure. Go ahead and throw a blind check as you're doing that, Vin.
Perfect. Can I throw a hero point on this action?
You
Is that a
can.
hero point action? All right, cool.
Okay, so you're kind of going around talking to different people and doing exactly as you said, kind of do a quick check of them. Most of them seem like they have recovered for the most part from this ordeal with the false fire fog, even though they don't seem to be aware that anything really happened. But a couple of them still seem a little bit more evasive, you could say, in their thoughts or like when they're speaking than others, as though they're still ruminating on thoughts that they had. Some of them, as you kind of like give them this once over, they look at you almost like, what the hell are you doing? And like hold their hand out to stop you from, sort of mothering them, in essence, is kind of how they're looking at it. You don't notice any sawdust, but I will say that as you're making your way through this area, you see Kalen speaking with Darvin, and he's got his hands on his hips as he's speaking to him. And you can see he's talking about Martha, and he's like, "Oh, so she got hurt? Oh, that's really bad, Darvin. Is there anything we should do for her?" And you notice that as he's speaking, his hands are kind of red, as though maybe he was recently working, let's say.
What do we do?
Kind of give. I'm gonna give my normal hand signals to Serena, as we're like normally when we're hunting, and like the stay behind me signal.
She can't see that.
I thought she was behind me. Maybe it's just, oh, it's just Blix. Oh shit, that works. He'll figure it out.
And you hear Darvin respond, It is the strangest thing. It must be when that lightning came down, it caused some of the rock debris nearby to fling towards her and embed it in her arm. But she'll be fine. I had Denise take a look at her. The two of them, they're usually able to help us out, but now in turn they're helping each other out. It was a minor wound at best. It's nothing to worry about, Kaylin. What we really need to worry about is how far we're going to fall behind in our quota with the fog lasting as long as it has. Hopefully this breaks soon and we will get at least some work done today.
Yes, it sounds like well, could this fog could stay around for quite a while. But look, Kalen, you've been in that cave with us before. I was wondering, did you want to go back in with us and explore it a little further? We had some time, obviously, with the fog, before we could set out towards that tree. Figured we'd invite you.
You see he looks at you as though you just said the dumbest thing in the world. Are you serious? Darvin just came over to me yesterday and said that I needed to stop going there. You guys specifically said that I was wandering and I shouldn't go back there.
Ah, yes, they should not go back there, but you are from where we're from. You're made of the same material we're made of. Don't you feel like you would last as long as us? If you had proper direction, Kalen, we can take you with us. Show you
Give
the
me
ropes.
a blind check here, and I'm assuming this is deception, correct?
I mean, yeah, deception, persuasion, either one would be fine.
You see he looks and kind of looks towards Darvin, and Darvin's also looking at you a little bit strangely at this point, Vin. And you see he kind of shrugs his shoulders a bit. I probably maybe would be okay, but I'm not like trained or anything like that. I was just, really worried about, well, let's not get into the details. It doesn't really matter. There's no really need for me to go there anymore because, I don't want to be causing problems. And you see he starts scratching the back of his head. It's just trying to make sure things are calm here. And, well, this fog is just real bad. And, I think it's probably best that, just kind of calm it down for today.
Kalen, do you always want to be this skittish? You're untrained, as you say. Well, this is your opportunity. We've gone in and survived. We've brought back 2 meals from it. Join us. Let us teach you. Show you the ways. How to hunt. How to hold a dagger properly. Defend yourself. Come on.
You see Darvin looks towards you and he says, over here if I could speak with you for a moment.
Adam, I have a question. Bardic inspiration. Is that like
obvious?
this?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So
It's
generally,
obvious.
it is. Yep. So it's not something you can do secretly. I believe it's essentially supposed to mean like a rousing speech, or you play a quick ditty on your harp or whatever you've got. You generally can't hide it.
Okay. And it's seen as like casting a spell on someone.
Not as dramatic as that. So you can inspire others through stirring words or music. So this would be like you jumping out and being like, "You can totally do this. You got this. Yeah." Like something like that that's really exaggerated. So
Okay.
like people know that you're trying to grow their morale, arouse them, or maybe even inspire them, even if they don't think of it as like a magical effect.
Okay. Well, I was gonna do it to Ben, but I don't want Darwin to think that we're pulling one over on him or something. So I guess I won't do it.
Okay, so as Darwin steps off and you follow him, Van, you see he looks towards you and he says, "I don't know what it is that you're intending here, but we are already going to be quite behind. I'm going to need every man I have. I can't afford to have you taking some of my workers into the cave. And didn't you say there were monsters in there? You seen this kid? He wouldn't last a day."
Just to clarify the way that I'm standing, Adam, like I'm facing him with my back towards Kalen, so I'm gonna have my voice at more of a hushed tone, and I'm gonna say, Darvin, I don't want to alert you or anyone in the camp, but I have reason to suspect this kid has committed some kind of crime to your camp, and I'm just trying to investigate it further. That's all.
That sounds like something you should bring to me then. What details do you have?
Do you want to discuss this here? 6 feet from him. Or do you want to trust me? Have we not proven that already?
Well, it is my responsibility to oversee this camp, and while I appreciate what it is that you have done, I cannot just give you the authority to make these kind of decisions. But if you wish to take a couple steps closer to the water, I am sure we can speak without being overheard. And as you're over here, you can hear the sound of the water cascading down. Again, it's not deafening, but it certainly provides like a sound nullifier, you could say.
Darvin, first, I don't want to be insidious within your camp, which is why I kept the information we have for now until we got more information, but we believe we just obtained that information.
And?
Well, let me ask you, did you send anyone to fix your bridge yet?
No, we haven't taken care of that task quite yet. That was on the docket for today, but unfortunately this fog has kind of changed plans.
So I'm going to reach over to that coin purse that I have hooked on my side and unhook it and reach into the interior of my cloak and pull out that letter that I found with it and hand it over to him and say, before you read it, we believe you have a saboteur. Those logs up top, they were cut perfectly, log cut, axe cut, and placed there. 2 of them to, I believe, break your rampart. While we were resting in the fog, we heard, well, Serena, who is quite the huntress, heard sawing off in the distance. We did not see who did the sawing, but we did see where it was sawed, and we can show you if you wish to see it. But as I was walking through camp giving good spirits there, the only person I noticed with hands that looked like they had been at work were his. Coupling all the evidence together, I believe that we have found who exactly is sabotaging your camp, but that's why I wanted to question it, you see.
Show me what it is that you're speaking of. This doesn't sound like it makes very much sense, but show me what you're speaking of.
Well, what you do with the log that fell over? Did you move it anywhere?
The log that fell over?
Yes, the one that was blasted from the top of the waterfall. Fell on the tent?
You see he kind of like puts a hand up to his eyes and then shakes his head as though he realizing how silly that is. It's not going to help him see through fog at all. I believe it's still by the water, but let's walk over there. Yes, right here.
I'm gonna look over and say, hey, make sure someone's staying with Kalen, yeah?
All right. I'll watch him.
I'm gonna lean down on the sides and show him where both sides have been. It's obvious that they're axe cut, and the other one up top, same way.
You see he looks at it and kind of runs his hand. You can see a real rough hand that he runs it on the side of the wood, and he nods and says, "Yep, this was clearly cut. That much cannot be doubted."
We asked you if anybody ships their logs by water, you remember? So we were trying to make sure that this maybe wasn't from a residual logging camp upstream, but, I mean, just a couple doesn't make sense, right?
It's possible, but yes, I will say this is out of the norm.
Couple that with the letter that we found up there and the watch post.
Right. And you have already handed him this letter?
Yep, and the bag of gold.
Oh, okay. So you see he's holding the bag of gold, and then he starts reading the letter, and you see him kind of squinting as he does so to read through the words that are written here. And you see he then looks up and kind of looks towards you and scratches at his chin. This is quite concerning indeed. When exactly did you find this?
when you sent us up there to investigate what was causing the blockage. We didn't have any exact details, and we were going to, well, eventually try to lure them out. Leah, let me show you this, and I'll take him with me across the bridge. Our friend Blixel, the Dark One, he noticed the footprints along the bridge, and we found this pile of sawdust here, and we believe it came from him trying to cut one of these ramparts to maybe break the supports. We didn't touch it because we don't know anything about it, how it works.
You see he shakes his head, and then you see kind of grits his teeth, and he says, "That fucking guy. Well, this is signed Var. I know who Var is. He's a troublemaker. He actually works for the guild, but he's always been known as a two-timer. He crosses one to benefit himself while hurting others. Maybe I have something else that you can do for me. I can really reward you for this one, because the guild does not like to see their work interfered with, especially with members from inside the guild."
Well, you save us questioning him, because we were going to ask who this Var character is.
Var works for the guild. He's associated with another one of the lumber camps. He's actually, last I knew, he was positioned in Rendale.
Well, what is it you'd have us do?
You see he kind of scratches at his chin once again, looks at the letter, looks back at you. You for surely found this above where you said you did.
If you need me to take you exactly where I found it, Darvin, I will.
No. If you're telling me that's where you found it, that makes too much sense. Okay, well, then what I want is his head. This cannot stand. This goes far too far. How are you at infiltrating and, well, let's say just stabbing somebody right through the throat?
Well, that, it's a good skill of mine, Darvin.
Good. All right, well, there's only one little wrinkle then. So the leader of that guild section in Rendale is a man by the name of Ryance. And you'll have to just let Ryance know what is happening, because otherwise you're breaking guild turf, and, that's not looked favorably upon. But I will write you a letter with all of these details. I want you to take this bag of coins and this letter and the letter that I'm going to give to you, and I want you to take it to Ryance. And unless he has some magic reason for why not, I'm sure he will agree with me on this, and he will give you the go-ahead to kill Var. So, yeah, are you willing to do that? Will you and your friends?
Well, we've never carried out an assassination. You understand I'll have to ask my group if they're fine with doing such a thing, but based on, well, my knowledge of them, if this one has done you dirty and the guild dirty, then by accordance,
looking at some of your friends, and don't take this as offensive or anything, but some of them don't look like the kind that would like to get their hands dirty to this degree. But I can see you have the bearing to know better that sometimes this needs to be done. So maybe you tell them something else that will not make them, resist this plan, because this needs to get done. You'll get paid well. Tell them whatever you think makes sense, but let's get this done.
Well, if you tell me what you'll pay us, I'm sure that will help us persuade them.
Well, this is a blood tax, so Ryance will be the one paying you, because Var reports to Ryance, which means this is on Ryance's hands, and he will want this taken care of just as much as me. I would say for starters, you can keep these gold coins in this sack. You see he holds up the sack that you originally gave to him, and he says, and I'm sure Ryance would be willing to compensate you significantly more than this.
Well, alright, Darvin. We'll disguise what we're doing under the gaze of going to that tree and investigating. And we'll be back. Where
Oh,
does that
right.
wood
Damn, the
take off?
tree. Well, killing two birds with one stone and all, once we are able to log that tree, so once you take care of the threats at the tree, and then we can log the tree, we want to take that lumber to Rendale because that's where we'll be able to get the best price for it. Rendale, and if you're not familiar with it, it's a small town right along the Rude River, so it has connections to upstream, you can say. So yeah, think about how you want to do that, but as long as Var is killed soon, within the next couple of days, I'll be happy.
I'm gonna reach my hand out and like an agreement shake.
He responds and takes your hand.
I'm gonna say, well, I'm glad that we could help you with the issues you've been having. And Darvin, I've got to ask, you're seasoned, you're a veteran. How long have you been doing this?
And you see he kind of looks at you and like shakes his or moves so his hair kind of like flows backwards, and he says, "Doing what specifically?"
Well, you're obviously in a position of leadership. As you can see with my group, we're fairly new, but it's a new position for me. You have any tips?
As far as being a leader, yes. Leadership means taking on the responsibility for what happens and telling people only what it is that they need to know. Not everybody needs to know everything, otherwise, everything grinds to a halt. So keep the choicest bits of information just to yourself.
Thank you. All right. Well, look, we'll take care of your tree problem and bring it to, and then bring it to Rindale, you said. You have directions? Someone who can take us, maybe? Cabin and
You
cart?
you won't need directions. Rendale, if you go to the river, follow it north. You can't possibly miss Rendale. As far as how far away, it's probably will take you at least a few hours, if not longer, depending on how good you are at moving through the woods. But it's right about 12, 13 miles north along the river.
Aye. All right. And lastly, what do you plan to do with Galen?
Well, it might be better that you don't know that answer, but let's just say that he will get what is coming to him, as will his associate also in the camp here. I'm starting to put two and two together and see this little operation that they've been running, and, well, trust me when I say it will be taken care of.
All right. Goodbye, Darvin. We'll let you know when it's done. Hello, brother.
Hello.
We need to get everyone.
They're just this way.
All right. We'll lead us there.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're missing.
Blixel's standing guard.
Ah,
Someone go grab him.
there he is.
Here we are.
Excuse me, everybody. I gotta go meet with my friends. Blixel runs this way.
Let's go on a walk, friends.
Okay. How'd it go with the big man?
Oh well. That's what the walk is about. Oh, sorry. Ah, damn it.
Door's too big, you can't get your token now?
That I'm stuck on it.
Here, let me just move it temporarily.
Note to self, don't do that again. Alright, I'm just gonna kinda walk over here-ish. I know the fog's
Did you kill
in his
him?
favor. No, I did not kill him, Blixel.
Oh, okay.
So, I ended up having to tell him what we found. Because I believe it was Kalen, and it now looks like, well, that's a confirmed fact. Where is everyone?
We're still trying to get out the door.
It's not stopping you from moving, is it?
I'm just waiting to make sure Serena doesn't get left
It
out.
just crashed.
Oh, nice. Oh, actually, you know what? This map still has Explorer mode on, so I'm going to turn that off. Let's see if that helps you at all, Serena. But I'll move you over there because I'm presuming you would have followed. Same with you, Bird.
Thank you.
Oh man, Explorer mode makes it so you really can't see crap. All right.
Without it, yes. It's a very nice feature, but so performance intensive.
Well, I had to tell him about what we found. The mole or saboteur that he has in his camp. We believe it to be Kalen. And he knew who Var was from the letter.
So who is he?
Var is apparently a member of one of the other guilds to the north in Rhindale. He apparently has a proclivity for getting into mischief, causing problems, two-timing, taking deals and doing things against regulation. We've been asked to, well, kill him.
Whoa.
Whoa.
By Darman?
Darwin suspected that, well, as a leader I should keep a few things from you, but I don't think I should lead that way. I think you should know. It's a simple assassination. I mean, this is a blood contract.
And why doesn't he just do it himself?
Guild upon guild. Doesn't look good. But our task is to go and meet with Reints. Something like that.
Is that a
Apparently
country?
he's the leader of the guild there. We're supposed to bring Reints this bag of coins and this letter proving Var's guiltiness, and then we're to carry out his execution. Supposedly we're to be paid quite well.
I'm in.
Ooh, how much?
He didn't allude to amount, but he made sure I knew that it was a lot, and that Reince would be able to tell us more about the exact amounts, considering that would be who paid us.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
How do you feel, brother?
Well, we are trying to get off on a strong foot of gaining what alliances and a renown name. I feel this may put us on the path of whether it's good or bad, but put us on the path of a violent nature, and I'm willing to follow your brother. But this, I'm okay with it, but just know the consequences. It's maybe not a, a thought of diplomacy, but more of war. And I'm follow wherever you go. Just something to think about. If that makes any sense.
No, you're on the right track, brother. I was thinking the same. I mean, let's say it's laughable, but let's say I do inherit this province and I rule these lands. Do I want one of my first acts of gaining favor to be killing someone who two-timed someone else? Is that the tone that I want to set for my ruler?
and how do you even know this guy's guilty?
We don't. Well, I mean, he did sign it with his name.
I mean, that's how things get done, though. You know what I mean? We never had to deal with this in the hamlet, but out here in the bigger world, that's how
The other
stuff
side of the
goes
coin,
down.
you're right. And as the same leader, well, that's when hard decisions are made. But if this person did two-time the guild, and there's a larger plan afoot for sabotage and stopping it, well, perhaps we should see who's at fault. Going around killing everyone who two-times people in the guild doesn't sound like a good thing to do, so maybe we could come up with an alternate plan. But he does need to be stopped, right?
Well,
Why? Because. Go ahead.
just to be clear, I don't mind being regarded as one that if you cross us, you're about to lose your tongue and your throat and ram it up your jack seat. That's not the problem with me. It's just making sure well known that we're aware of the path that we're on and to act accordingly.
I've never been afraid to kill my enemies. I just haven't had any enemies.
So you started your little speech with saying if he's guilty. I mean, that alone kind of gives you your own answer, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're right. So what, Tavad? If he's guilty, we kill him. Is that what you're saying?
No, you said if he's guilty, meaning you don't even know if he is.
No, we don't.
And on the letter, just as a reminder out of character here, did he sign his name or did he put initials on there?
I think it was just a
Just
V, and he interpreted it as
VH.
well.
A V, yeah.
No,
So-
No, it was
VHAR.
VHAR.
Right.
Oh,
He
shit.
wrote that name, and you guys weren't sure if that was a name or if that was an abbreviation of some kind.
Okay.
And when I handed Darvin the letter, he said he knew who that Var was, and that's what led to all of this.
Well, I mean, so the guy's stopping people from putting logs down a river. That's death worthy in your kingdom, huh?
No, no. I have a problem with the logging community myself. I'm sure my mother, who I never knew, mind you, but knew now where she's from, she would not like it either. And if I'm to inherit this province, I have to appease everyone, Tavad, of all sides. Right?
You're not. If you're thinking that you're going to become king or emperor or something and you're going to make everybody happy, let me just tell you, good luck.
Thank you.
So we can make the guild happy.
Good, thank you. Whoa, that went over my head.
Either way, we should investigate further because everyone, you guys are thinking the same thing I was thinking when I was talking to him. I brought up that we've never killed anybody. This is not our typical type of adventure that we go on, right? But Blixel brings up a good point. This is the real world. This is what they deal with.
You know, it's funny you say that. It's not the typical thing we go on. That's what we've been doing for 3 years with Adam.
Yeah, but it's different going someplace to say, hey, I'm going to go kill this guy who's sabotaging a log than it is going, hey, and then find out that you have to kill him because something happens.
Yeah, I think this is definitely reasonable. I think I say we definitely can go and then ask further questions or get a sense of what's going on, and then if we make the decision to do it, I don't mind having a reputation like that if that's the route we go.
Well, it's not that it would be the route we go, but we would eventually have to discuss the enemies of this kingdom, right? And what we found out so far is Celine has told us the 5 peaks. What is it? Would you say wildlings, madmen who fight brutally for power? Then we're surrounded by goblins and then elves that really don't trust us any longer, right? So what if this payment he's gotten from the 5 peaks is payment from one of these warlords trying to move in to make money on our
There's another
land?
if there. Yep, there's another one of those ifs.
That's my point. We need to find him to learn more, no matter what.
So Dylan, just to make sure that Tavern's being sarcastic because it's a whole bunch of if this, if this, if this, if that, we should kill him. And it's a whole bunch of, in Tavern's mind, just to make sure you understand what I'm trying to role play, is he doesn't believe if is guilty. He believes if is we're not sure what's going on.
Oh yeah, well none of us think if is guilty either.
No. What I'm saying.
If the
Tavad,
boss
is
says
if
to
he
kill
is guilty-
somebody, we're killing somebody.
Yeah, maybe
So-
Serena.
Maybe there's a couple.
Libby found her alter ego. This is great.
There you go. Yep.
Look,
You just
my-
gotta
mean-
watch 3 seasons of Narcos.
I mean, we talk to Ryans, you know what I mean? He'll know what to do as the guild leader there. and he'll know if this guy that works for him is guilty from our evidence. So I say we trust that. We cut down this other tree or whatever, and we bring it over to them in Rendale.
Look, have you guys have seen me reading my book? It's the only book I ever read, really. It's the only one my brother got me that I've favored. But it has this statement. It says, choose the subtle solution to any dilemma. Right? We're not barging in this place either, saying, hello, we're here to take this man out either. But we should go and find out more information. The guild would be one of our bigger allies in the long grand scheme of things.
So if I can, just out of character here, right? So you would know Tavern long enough to know one of my personality traits is he wishes he could be a pacifist, but knows that's not the way life goes. But I will tell you that if we go there with the intent of assassinating someone, he will not join in that effort. If he goes there because you want to go explore further, then I'm
Yeah,
okay. Tavern's okay with that. I'm just telling you how I feel. I got to role
yeah,
play that. I mean, I'm just
just
telling you.
no, just to clarify out of character, I'm not as Vin. He's not going to go in with the intention of just assassinating someone in cold blood. We're going to discover information and learn more about the situation, and then make a decision from there. Up into the point of like we could blindfold him and walk him 1,000 miles out into the woods. You know what I mean? And let him loose or something over just slaying him in the middle of town. But
Yeah, I just know that you guys would have known my character long enough to know that character trait of him. So
yeah. I think you all bring up good points. It's definitely not something we can publicly do because we don't want to make that our reputation. It is part of the real world. We have to take that into consideration. Serena, obviously, if you say shoot, she's gonna fire from the hip. So we've gathered a lot of information from this talk. But does everybody agree that that we should go and at least learn more from what's going on?
Yeah, for sure. And you would know your brother if you told me to shoot EBs at this guy. I would do it without
Yeah.
hesitation.
Well, that's yeah, that that I know because
I
we
said it
grew up
first.
together. Yeah.
After Sarita, of course. Ladies first.
I'm gonna look over at Celine, who has obviously never assassinated anyone ever, and see how she's feeling about the situation.
Well,
She can watch.
I think that's a little premature for sure to be talking about that. Um, did
About
Darvin gave
watching,
you Darvin gave you a letter, right? What does that
he's
say?
going to give us one, but
Oh, I
first
thought
we
he did
have to.
already.
We're supposed to take care of this tree because that ironbark tree is what that they sell it in Rhinesdale. So that would be our guys from coming into town, selling this tree for him. Best prices from there, at least.
And how does Tavard feel about chopping down a tree with a living being in it?
He probably has a issue with the if, I would imagine.
So what I'll say is the punishment for what we've seen happen seems awfully extreme. Um, I'm not really comfortable committing to, you know, killing somebody over this. Maybe like fire him, take away his pension. But I mean, I guess we have to find out more about what specifically is going on. So I agree with that part. Uh, because it's
So
possible that they are up to things that may not be able to be forgiven. I just
what if we had walked on that ramp without seeing it was cut?
Anyone. He could have killed anyone.
Fall 50 feet, smashed your brains in.
was that part 50 feet up, or were we like pretty close to the bottom?
It was more like probably the 40-foot mark by the time you would have actually stepped on the planks that were attached to the support.
Oh, well, that would
It's
still
just,
probably kill somebody.
yeah, a lot of these commoners with their 11 hit points, you know
Do you want
11.
me 11? More like 4, right?
well, you know, it's being generous. 11 would, they'd still die.
Hey, brother, do you want me to walk up the bridge and I'll die, and then we can go kill him?
No, we don't need to do that. Kalen will be taken care of for his crimes by Darwin. That's what I was told. It's not our decision on how they handle their crimes, at least not yet, but that is something we can change in the future. What happened to good old jail sentences, right?
Well, the guilds, they probably have their own rules and regulations about this stuff.
Celine brings up a good point about it being rather cutthroat.
I just know that a good old ass beating usually solves half the problem, but murder is another thing all completely,
Surely. Well, we're supposed to investigate this tree. We're not chopping it down, we're just taking care of the creature. So we don't necessarily have to kill that either, just to clarify. We could talk it into leaving, moving. But we need to
Can we
free
talk
it.
to it?
Who knows? It says it takes a while to come out of its little thing, so maybe we have a chance.
Yeah. I asked last time if it talked to anybody, and no, it didn't talk to anybody. But that doesn't mean they didn't try.
I will say Lean knows 37 languages.
There's 7 languages.
Close.
All right. Well, are we going to wait out this fog, or are we going to just try to go there? It's only 40 minutes away, so maybe 2 hours in the fog?
I'm not going anywhere in this fog.
We're gonna get lost.
Are we going to the tree?
We're gonna spend the whole
Yeah.
session wandering in circles like we did in fucking Ice Spire.
I agree. I don't think we should go for the tree in this weather. I mean, let's say the fight breaks out while the fog is still on. I mean, we go to separate and then we can't see each other and then we don't know who's down and could not go well. Maybe we go back into the cave and see if we could spend some time trying to help Garnica. She could also be a good ally, and maybe she knows about this creature.
So what do we do? Just walk rest until we run into something and then feel around for the cave?
Yeah, explorer mode is off. I don't remember where it is.
It's south-ish. I feel better trying to find the cave entrance than, well, going north recklessly for a tree we've never seen.
Oh, we ain't going for the tree.
Fine. You guys are just scared of a little fog.
I'm necessarily scared of fog, scared of getting lost in the fog and not being able to find anything.
To be honest, that cave fish are also delicious. So if we find another one good size, we should bring it back.
You're always lost till you know where you are.
Whoa. Write that one down, Blixel. That was good.
Just for ease of play, can
Hey,
we say
this
we
way,
stayed within sight lines of each other before people start moving?
Oh, I forget you guys don't have fast computers.
Well, Blixel just took off.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'll
he
say
was right here with me.
I'm okay if you guys want to describe high level what you're trying to do, and we might be able to speed some of that along.
I was just gonna follow the cave. I mean the wall line, because I know there's a bunch of trees that we follow, and then it hooks to the right. So I was just gonna follow the line of the cavern, Adam, or the cliff until we got to the cave entrance or could see it.
Okay, so find the rock wall for me, because I just want to give you a sensation of how challenging this actually is. Obviously you will, but just to give you an idea. And then once you get there, okay, so you move through this really thick mist. Eventually you do indeed see this rock wall. You have a rough idea of where you're at, and yes, you can easily follow this along to the cave entrance. I'm going to just move everybody over there, so pause for one moment.
And I assume all the loggers are still in the camp, we're not obviously walking by anybody who would
You are not. You don't see anybody where you spotted them before. Nobody seems to be working in this fog.
Okay. Because my concern is if we told them the cave is dangerous and nobody should go in there, and then they see us going in there, someone's gonna suspect something.
Or they know we are dangerous too.
Yeah, they know we're the badasses.
So, are you guys wanting to enter the cave at this point?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Booty call.
All right. And I'm assuming you're entering the cave again, just to try to move us a little bit along. You're going to follow the normal path that you would take, and you're trying to go down to that lower level.
Yeah, I mean that was the plan, right? Go back, speak to Garnica, see if she knows more information about this creature, and then see if maybe we can spend some time down here looking for her key, since we can't go hunting in this fog. Does that sound fair, Gus?
Yeah, but Adam, we're gonna stay together,
From
and we're gonna
water.
stay away from water. High level.
Fair
Wait,
enough.
what?
Deep appreciation for the dangers of water. I like it.
Which creature? You mean the fog creature?
There's a
No,
giant
the one in
toad
the
that
tree.
almost-
Oh wait, no, yeah. Obviously the
Oh,
toad's
the
in the
tree.
water,
Oh,
but
the
the
tree
tree.
one. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're saying that if we try to go off in this fog, we're just gonna get lost and fuck around for hours. So we
Okay.
might as well go into the cave.
Yeah,
Because-
there's no fog in here.
Yeah.
Ooh, what if there is fog in there?
No,
Damn it.
she might not be in her little room though. You know.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
could
well,
ask the bear if she came out.
Hey, Blixel,
Hey, what's up?
Are you prepared if you go in there that there might be another boy?
Takes longer
Hmm.
than that, I think.
I hadn't thought of that. I mean, I guess it
Apparently
would be a
it
little
was-
awkward, but you know, I'd get over it.
All right, so you guys enter the bear cave here. You carefully avoid that green slime. You notice the 2 corpses of the crabs are still there. Nothing new that you really notice until you round the bend, and then you spot and probably smell, first of all, Stinky. And you notice that there is a large fish that he is currently digging into, and he's actually got like part of the head in his mouth and snaps it, and you can see the fish guts and stuff on the ground there. And you see he just kind of looks at you and gives you like a head shake, like, yeah, I see you.
Hey, my main man Stinky.
Hey!
Good fish.
Uh-huh. Nop, 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 nop.
Is Garnica home?
Haven't seen her. She didn't come back out this way, so she's probably still down there.
Enjoy your fish.
Uh-huh. All right, you guys continue further into the path. Nothing really new here. I always hesitate because there's some stuff that you guys may have, say, missed or may not remember. But I'll give you guys a choice. I can either just throw you on the map, you can navigate as is, or do you want to just go straight to the hole and climb down?
I think we should navigate as is because she did ask if we look around for a key.
Good enough for me. All right, so you guys find your way through the tunnel and find yourself here.
I really hate carrying this torch around. You have anything in that book of yours, Saline? Anything new?
Oh yeah, that is a thing that I can do now. What does Vin have on him that he would have on his person? You know, not like have a chance of dropping it or throwing it away or something.
Oh, his quiver, his bow. In terms of, he just wears, his leather armors. Doesn't have any amulets or anything like that. Oh, he's got like rune beads at the end of his braids that hold the braids together. They're like stones. I don't know what you're thinking.
I just don't want you to lose it, you know. So I will cast light on, I guess, his armor, right? Unless he thinks that he's going to need to, I don't know, stealth forward. You're kind of a beacon in that case, but
Well, to be honest, it seems like everything in the cave has eyes on us anyways, so I think for now we'll be okay if I'm a bit of a beacon.
sure. So I'll put my hands on his leather armor and I'll cast light on it.
Well,
Okay.
take me to dinner first. Is this part of the routine?
I think I have to touch it, right?
Vin can apply it to himself.
Yeah. Whoa. So, what else is in that book?
Let me remind myself what spells I took.
You too, brother. You look like you picked up some new tricks as well.
Yeah, but the bottle the ring I found has given me the bit more powers for sure.
That's it. That's all you're gonna tell your brother. Giving me a bit more power for sure. What does that even mean?
We have to stay focused.
On what?
Well, I did sanctuary Serena when she was catatonic.
It was in the fog. I did not see.
Oh, that reminds me. And Blixil is going to give Serena Bardic Inspiration.
Okay, for the next 10 minutes, Serena, you have Bardic Inspiration.
Hey, wasn't there a little hole up here?
Yes, that's where we rested after that toad almost ate Serena.
Speaking of, are they right around the corner or are they wandering off?
I see them.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we're looking for a little key, yeah?
Yeah.
Could like a little mouse grab it and hide it, or could someone stuck it in here? Kalen stick it in there?
Who
Right,
knows?
Adam, it's like a hole in the wall, if I remember. Can you
It
remind
is,
me?
yeah. It's like a small tunnel, yeah, that goes north. It's only about a foot in diameter.
Well, if it were me, having a vault or something in a cave, I don't think I would keep the key in the same place unless it was like a spare under the doormat or something.
Well, I'm assuming that Kalen is more than he seems, and that maybe he's messing around in here, and he probably knows where the key is, or he hid it for later. I don't trust him as just some kid.
That was a lot of ifs.
We know how Tavard feels about those.
Yeah, but those ifs actually make sense to me.
Damn it. That was good, brother. Well, continue forward. If anything, we can come back and always check the burrow.
I
You see a burnt out torch here, Serena, as terrible memories float through of being grabbed by a giant bullfrog.
So this is the spot. Didn't I see something shiny down there?
You did! I was hoping somebody remembered that because I didn't want to be like, you remember that? But yes, you did
That's the
indeed see
key.
something that shined down in the water.
inspiration for Serena.
Yep.
I think so.
Well,
I have inspiration. Is it? I thought it was a pickaxe at the
I
time.
thought
but
she was seeing the light because she was dying.
It was indeed a pick of some kind. See, I'm so glad you remember all these details. It was indeed a pick near the bottom of the water.
nice. That wasn't even in my notes, and I've been on it.
I would have been crying in my napkin, but she was paying attention as she was dying.
Well, who's the best swimmer?
You want to
That,
send someone?
that creature's down
Yeah.
there.
This is where the
Yeah.
frog is. I don't think we should send one person down.
despite wanting to help Garnica and explore any shiny silvery things, Serena is having trouble walking closer to the water.
Well, I can do it.
I mean, we are stronger now, and if we just get ready for when it comes out.
Can we throw something like a rock or something in the water, see if it disturbs anything before we go crazy?
All right, throw it in there.
Wait,
I've never seen you throw anything before.
I said we. I don't.
No, no,
my
no,
noodly little arms are not.
You're doing it now. You have to. We have to see you throw. I don't think I've ever seen you throw either. I have, here, look, I knew picking up all that firewood would come in handy. Here's a log.
I was going to say, there's a burnt out torch right in front of Blixel.
Yeah, huck this thing, Celine. It'll feel good.
No, it won't. It'll fall short, and then I'll be embarrassed.
Now, how far down was that silver thing you saw?
You got this, Celine, and Blixel will give Celine bardic inspiration.
No, don't waste bardic inspiration.
Hang on, look. Does
It's not a
anybody,
waste.
do you guys
I
remember
think you can only give. Can you give
Does
multiple
that mean I
bardic
don't have it
inspiration?
anymore?
I think you
I
can
think-
give it to multiple people. Let me double check.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember.
I just can't give it to myself, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Hey, Serena, before you go down there, I put sanctuary on you. If you're not intending to fight, but just grab
Did you say?
something.
Did you say Serena?
Yes. You're Serena, right?
I don't think
You,
Serena ever
you
said
guys
she
are
was going down there.
sending me back into the
Oh,
water
no, I
where
thought-
I almost died.
No, what I thought you said was, despite my willing to help and do this, I can't move closer to the water. Like it was a glitch on your computer. I thought you were intending to go.
No, like
So
it
I'm like-
was a
so-
traumatic
So then,
PTSD
yeah. So then,
response.
I
so
mean,
then, so then I was trusting your decision and doing everything I can to empower you to do so.
you probably are the best swimmer.
Wow.
But
You
anyway,
guys
I
are just
think
gonna
this is the
throw
best.
me into the mouth. I
No,
pick up the torch and I huck it into the water.
You are able to do so pretty easily. It hits the surface of the water and quickly descends.
That was
No ripples or bubbles or anything signaling a large creature underneath is moving.
Only the ripples from the object striking the water, nothing else.
You guys are cruel.
you don't have to do this.
I'll do it.
I can
I'll do it.
Oh, Blexo, yeah, look. Oh, she dove in.
wait, do I see him? Wait.
Buddy
Hold-
system.
Yeah,
So-
Blixel looks down frantically.
So,
Hold
Serena,
up.
I'm assuming you've just dove into the water, correct?
She really went for it. Didn't she?
Yes.
Okay,
All right.
do I see her?
I mean, I don't
I'm
know
not,
where
like,
you were.
descending. I'm just.
Yeah, I'm casting sanctuary on her.
Okay, so yeah, as she hits the water and is kind of just getting acclimated to the water there, you hit her with Sanctuary. Okay, so that will last for a minute. And Serena, are you wearing any armor?
Well, just hide.
Okay, so that's medium armor. Okay, so what you're finding as you're kind of swimming here is that it's difficult to swim, like, and move well. You're not like at immediate risk of dying or anything like that, but you know that if you try to dive down and move agilely or something like that, you're certainly going to be hampered by the equipment that you hold as well as your armor.
When you say hide, do you mean hide armor or do you mean just strips of like hide as in clothing?
Hide armor.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's what I spent all my money on. I don't have any money.
That's why she's a killer for hire. She needs new gear.
Exactly.
And I don't know,
Um,
Serena, if you know this, but sanctuary means that they have to take a wisdom save before they hit you or attack you. But if you do something aggressive or attack someone, the sanctuary is gone. Just so you know.
All right, I'll leave my weapons and backpack on the shore.
All right, so you climb out of the water and you start taking these things off and placing them in a pile, like against the wall.
What about that armor of
This-
yours?
Is this like a ledge here?
It is. That is exactly where the giant bullfrog was sitting when it leaped its tongue out towards you.
You know, first, how far down was that silver thing you saw? I mean, do one of you folks have magic now that you can, like, go down and grab it?
I don't.
Can I open my eyes underwater and like see if I can see any more glints?
Actually, Adam, can I cast dancing lights down into the water?
Ooh, good question. I don't know. Let's see if there's anything that would prohibit that real quick. That hover in the air for the duration. That would lead me to believe that you can't put them through water.
Oh, bummer.
How about someone putting one of those light thingies on a coin and dropping the coin down?
That could certainly work. I want to get
we can
back
do
to
that.
Serena's statement because Serena, you said you wanted to see if you could see anything underwater when you open your eyes underwater, right?
Yeah, without like diving down, just sort of.
So basically, you're sticking your face in the water and you're keeping your eyes open and seeing what you can see.
Exactly.
Okay. And right now, there is light kind of casting over your head, but not down into the water. So as you look down there, go ahead and give me a blind check.
Okay, so I have this issue where it keeps moving the map instead of letting me select.
Are you left clicking or right clicking maybe? Right click should be pan, so if you left click, you should be good.
Yeah, it's I think it's.
Or if you have the hand selected.
That could do it
Yeah,
too.
it's,
Yeah.
it's
So the
acting
arrow.
like I have the hand selected, but I don't. Let me
Try click the hand and then go back to the pointer and see if that fixes it.
Okay, there we go.
You do not see anything when you look down there with that method, Serena.
Then I guess I'm gonna have to take my armor off.
All right, so
Or-
you climb back to the shore and you start taking off your armor. As hide armor as medium armor, that will take a minute. So probably within the first 4 rounds or so, the sanctuary will end because that's only a minute-long spell. After another 6 rounds or so, you've managed to strip off your hide armor and you're just in regular clothes at this point as you set that also with your other gear.
I'll make sure no one takes anything, okay?
Thanks, Blixel.
Who would look at us?
Oh,
We're always
you guys
together.
can be shady sometimes, especially when you've been drinking.
Well, sure.
You know, I'm not against going down there. You know,
But
Well, then you
people have
go.
volunteered.
I didn't have a chance. You guys were pushing the button a lot.
Shit, exactly. You dove right on in, Serena.
Yeah,
You're
that's
supposed
why I
to
burnt
go,
the.
I would go.
That's why I burnt the sanctuary because you were in the water. I'm like,
We would all. Multiple people said we would.
It was funny. I was trying to say, hey, I can down. Nope. I was like, okay, or the guy without any armor can go down there.
I think we've learned something about Serena. She is impulsive. When she sees a task, she's going for it.
Hey, she's a barbarian, right? It's all
She did
good.
not like us having a plan. She was like, "This is dumb. I'm going."
well, the light thing's good. I'm holding a torch, so burn your light on something, saline, and throw
Yeah.
it in the water. And then I have a torch. I'm always holding a torch.
I'll just pick up like a pebble or a rock or something and put light on it. I'm sure
All
I
right.
can find one.
You certainly can, yeah. So don't worry about taking your light off in because obviously this will happen and then you'll just put it back on. So no point wasting that. So yes, as you cast this on a rock, toss it in the water and let it sink down. You can see that the under the water lights up as illuminated by that lit up rock. And yes, now those of you who are close by, I would say Blixel, Tavard, and Serena, you all can see essentially buried in the muck. You can now see reflecting off the light from the rock the pointy end of looks like a pick.
How far down is it?
Based on a glance, you're guessing it's maybe 40 feet down.
Deep pool.
Hurry up! Hurry up! All right. Can you hold your breath that long?
We're about to find out.
Hey, Adam, I'm keeping my quarterstaff warhammer. I would keep my axe up here, but it's gone already, and it was my favorite axe. But all the
Damn
other,
it.
but all the other stuff, I'm going to go ahead and leave my other armor, weapon stuff up here.
Okay.
Wait, I still have my 50 feet of hemmet rope. If it's 40 feet down, I could tie it around one of your waist. And,
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, Serena. And I'll make a lasso with it, Adam, and toss it over to her. The lasso part.
Got it.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. Give me 2 big tugs to start pulling you up to help you get back up. 3 big tugs for a big ass frog, yeah?
Okay.
I just had a terrible visual. This is like fishing with Serena as the bait. All right, so you have this rope, Serena, and you're trying to swim down towards the pick?
Just to clarify, Adam, I'll have no slack except for what I give her. Like as she goes down, I'll feed it out, so I'll be able to tell when she pulls if she does.
Okay. Is that your plan, Serena, as you're swimming down?
Yep.
All right, and Tavern, are you swimming down with her?
Well, I was going to, but I just want to make sure that's the plan. But I'm
Yeah,
good.
go for it.
Okay.
Never split up.
Does Ed, before we do this, Blixel, Vin, do you guys have what armor is Blixel wearing in case he needs to like jump in and help?
It's scale,
Oh,
so probably not. But
yeah, that's
I am looking down, so I can maybe cast some spells down there.
All right, not hearing anything else, I will assume Serena and Tavern, you both take deep inhalation of air, dip your head in the water, and start kicking down, trying to go down that 40 feet. And as you're descending, getting closer and closer, that's where we'll take our 15-minute break, folks.
I knew it.
Woohoo! Nothing could go wrong.
Yeah,
What could
nothing
pos-
goes wrong with
what
the
could
dramatic
possibly happen?
pause.
For
I
dinner,
can
I'm
hold
gonna
my
go grab
breath
some
for
frog legs. Yeah, I'll be
15
right back.
minutes.
We got this. Wait, you can hold your breath for 15 minutes?
I don't have any choice now.
All right, guys, see you on the other side of the break. Alrighty, folks, we are in the second half of our session. Let's pick up where we left off. So, team, you guys are currently... yes, you guys are currently making your way back through this area, and you have already spoken with Stinky, and I believe you guys were in the water and getting ready to swim down. Yeah, that's where we left off. Okay, let's get you guys back there.
This would be a
I
good
was
time.
mid-swim.
Just to clarify,
And she's already
too,
down there.
Celine had to recast light on one of them to go down, so it's not on me, right?
Correct.
Technically,
it's on-
right.
it's on a
Well,
rock
it's on a
floating
rock in the bottom, yes.
I'm
Yeah,
holding it
just to clarify,
torch.
in case something happens, I just want to be sure that the light is right.
Okay, so yes, I will ask both Serena and Tavard to throw me... you can throw these as public, actually. Athletics checks, please.
Can I do a hero point or
You can if you wish. You can
You
do
have
either.
Bardic Inspiration, too.
Hey, Adam, can we take a picture of that? I rolled good.
I know. I don't think I've ever
Bill's
seen
like,
green.
Hey, everyone else, be quiet. Look at this.
Sorry, guys, I need to go now. I'm done.
He's peaked.
Burn your bardic inspiration first, Libby.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just looking that up. Do I roll a d6?
Yes, at this level, it's a D6.
Yeah.
Gets better as Blixel gets better with his hand drum.
Yeah, for some reason I have it twice on my sheet, too, by the way, Adam. I don't know.
We'll get rid of the one then, because it looks like you're tracking it in the other one, so let's just get rid of that one. But yes, you guys both managed to... Ooh, okay, we'll figure that one after, because that's a joint resource. So yeah, the two of you are swimming down below. You're making progress. So think of this as being that you're underwater. It's sort of treated like difficult terrain, so your normal speed is 30, but you're only moving at half speed. So as you guys both are swimming down, you would make it like 15 pseudo dash, if that can be a thing underwater. You get to 30 feet. You're still needing to go a bit further down before you can actually reach this thing. And I presume that's what you're doing, right? You're both making a beeline for this pick.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to matter because of the difficult terrain, Adam, but I am at 40 speed in case it becomes an issue later.
Actually, that will matter because that means you can actually swim faster than Serena. So are you trying to get down to the pick ASAP?
Yes.
Okay, so then in one round, you dive down, and just as the round ends, you essentially get to the very bottom. The pick is within reach.
When I see him do that, I'm going to slow up and just kind of watch his back.
Okay, as you do that and you kind of just briefly scan around, Serena, you notice that there is a big hole in the rock wall underwater at about 30 feet down going this way.
I'm going to watch it like a hawk.
Okay. And Tavern, you're within arm's reach. Are you reaching out to grab this thing?
It is a pickaxe. Of course, it could be one of my family heirlooms. You never know.
Okay, so you reach out and you touch upon this. It is metal, but you also realize it's very cold. Like you actually pull your hand away for a second as you touch it because it's that cold. As you start like kind of clearing away some of this muck and trying to get a better handle on it, you notice that this looks to be reminiscent of a ship's anchor. It's actually got a hoop on the back side of it. It's got a metal sort of prong. It's got rope tied all around it on the midsection. It's got a hammer side and then a pick side. On the hammer side, you can actually see as though there was ice on it, and you can see like the temperature change all around this. Because it's underwater right now, you can see like a little bit of flakes of ice around the head of this hammer, and you also notice that there are barnacles attached to it.
Would it make sense just for theater of the mind for me to grab the rope and try to pull it up from the rope? Is it that much rope, or?
It's a good amount of rope, but the rope is tied all the way around it. So you're saying you want to grasp it by the roped part. Again, not free rope, but it's rope tied around the pick. Grab onto that and try to pull it up?
Yeah, if that, I'm just trying to picture it right. So if you say that it's cold to the touch, I just want to make sure that I'm able to grab
I was
it.
trying not to give away the name of this, but I guess it's really not that big of a deal. But this is what it looks like.
Yeah, that just looks super cool. So yeah, I want it.
Literally.
At least to bring it home. Yeah.
Okay, so you're grabbing it by the roped part, and you're trying to pull it up and bring it up above, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so give me another athletics check here, Tavern, as you try to carry this very heavy pick and start to swim back to the surface.
Do you want this one public or?
Yep,
private?
yeah, you can make it public.
Can I see him?
Yes,
he within
I had
30 feet?
advantage on that. That's awesome.
Only if you did. I would say yes, you can see him because the light rock is down there.
Is he within 30 feet?
No, he is at the very bottom, so he's at 40, and you're standing up on the surface. He's like 45, 50 from you.
He can't hear me anyway, so it probably won't work.
No.
Okay.
Right.
Never mind. It's
All
actually
right.
60 feet, but yeah, he can't hear me.
So as you're holding on to this thing, you basically try to kick up off the ground, like the very bottom of the pool here, Tavern, and start swimming up. And you kick up, and you go up about a foot, and then the pick just pulls you right back down. And it is like lying on the ground there, and you're like trying to force it up, and it is not coming.
All right. I'll try to motion for Serena to come down. Maybe give me a hand.
Okay. I will do so.
Okay, Serena, another athletics check as you try to continue swimming even deeper.
Can I reroll that with inspiration?
If you wish to burn your inspiration, you can re-roll, yep. Okay, yes, you do indeed manage to swim down, so you continue swimming downwards here, and you get most of the distance. With a dash, you would get to the very bottom, and yes, you see Tavern here holding on to this thing and trying to lift it and having a bit of a struggle.
I'll show him how it's done and just wrench it out.
Okay, and Tavern, as she grasps upon it and looks like she's trying to, muscle it up off the ground. Okay, excellent. All right, so Serena, go ahead and give me an athletics check with advantage as you try to swim back up with this very heavy pick.
Adam, if it does matter, I am trained in athletics, so.
I'm gonna show you how it's done, Tavern. I'm gonna roll like half my age, with my age divided by 3. Yeah.
Well, I
You still
freed
got
it.
hero points, right?
I got 1. All right, here we go.
She also has a rope around her waist.
Yeah, we could tie the rope to it.
Does
and
that help?
haul it up with the whole group.
With a 14, you start swimming up. This is very, very hard going. You swim up like 10 feet or so using all of your movement for the round. Looking up, you realize the surface of the water is still a ways from you, and both of you are starting to realize, like, you've been down here for a little while now.
15 minutes.
Not that long.
Don't forget
All
you
right.
have that rope tied around your waist.
I'm gonna tie it to the rope and
Yep.
So when you say tie it to the rope, give me an idea of what you mean.
Wait, so the rope is tied to her, right?
No, so what happened was, summary. Dylan threw a loop around it while she was in, and he threw the loop. So she could have swam through it and put like one arm through or both arms through.
I thought the whole point of the rope was that we could pull her out.
Yeah, but now she can kick up if she wants to keep the rope around the axe, and then she could just kick up and swim up without having the thing.
well, I'm also still gonna hold on to the rope in case I.
So is the rope around you, or are you holding the rope in hand?
I had it looped around one arm and my neck.
Okay. All right. I hope
Like
you
a-
don't tug
like a
on that
staff.
guy.
And then I'm going to take some of the rope and wrap it around the top part of the shipwrecker so that it's like stuck. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah, I think I'm following you. So quick blind check to see how nimble underwater were you dealing with this frozen pick, if you're able to get the rope securely attached to it.
Blind check.
Yes, please. Yes, you nimbly and adroitly do just that, getting the rope around the head of the war pick here, and it looks like it is solid and secure.
So I'm still keeping an
Yanks
arm
me in.
looped through the loop at the end. So I'm not letting go of it, but I'm gonna start pulling on it so that I can have help getting back up.
Okay, and just to clarify, when you said like a sash, so you don't mean around your neck, because otherwise that's going to be pretty bad.
Well, I'm now just keeping an arm through it.
Yeah,
Okay.
she would have had to, in order to tie it up, I think she would have had to like take at least part of it off.
Yeah, okay, good enough.
Tavert has one of those underwater cameras. He's just taking pictures of how it's
He's
tied around her
recording.
neck in case this becomes a legal issue later.
OSHA.
OSHA. I will start feeling her tug on the rope, and I'll look behind me and say, "Oh, she's tugging. Yeah, help me pull, Blixel."
Okay.
And I'm
You
assuming
start
a
pulling it
warpick
up.
weighs way less than she does, so it probably doesn't take both of us, but we pull it on up.
All right, so this will take a little while, perhaps another 20 seconds or so, but between the two of you, you do manage to pull her up. Tavert, you're just swimming back up, I assume, at this point?
Yeah, if she needs the help action, I will. But if she doesn't, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay watch as we're heading up. So I'll be, like 5-10 feet below, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. So you're presuming that they're helping her as she's got the rope, they're pulling, yada yada. So you're just keeping your eyes
And I
peeled.
don't see her neck popping, so that's
No.
fine.
All right. So yes, you eventually do manage after that 20 seconds or so to pop back to the surface. This pick is still very, very heavy, and where you've got it in the water, you can just feel like a chill running through you as it's that close to the water.
Oh, you got it.
What is
It's
it?
heavy. It's heavy. It feels like an anchor. I'm gonna pull it to the shoreline, Adam.
You're pulling both of them out of the water. Is that what you said?
To the best of my ability, yeah.
Sure. Yep. Yeah. So Serena, you're at the surface now, so you can certainly move as you wish.
And you have my light. I can't see what I'm doing.
Sorry, brother. There's my
We
torch.
We did not retrieve the rock with the light on it.
That's
You
fine.
did not.
Yeah, I can recast it.
It's all right. Has Tavard appeared above the waterline yet, Adam?
He is free to do so as he wishes. Yes, you can definitely see Serena has gotten out of the pool at this point, Tavern.
Okay, then I will as well.
Once everyone's out, I'll put light back on Vin's armor.
Wow. I'll unloop the rope from it and wrap it back around my arm and put it back on my bag as they inspect whatever it is they just found. That looks...
Heavy.
Magical.
It looks cool.
Tavern, is this a dwarven thing?
It's the sea dwarfs, I think. I don't know. Those ones that are all out. Well, there are some. Who knows, right?
Well, I mean,
Well-
it's
well-
made to hit people. Look at it. It's got a
Now that
blunt
it's-
end and a
yeah.
sharp end.
Do you guys have it in your hands, or is it like on the ground?
I
'Cause now
think
that
it's
it's
on
out
the
of the water,
ground
you can try
attached to a rope.
No, he took it off the rope and put his rope back in his backpack.
Yeah, it's just sitting over there. So I figured Tavert or Serena would pick it up because they went and found it.
Well, okay. Now that it's out of the water, how heavy is it? Does it look feasible for us to move?
Why are you afraid of it? Just pick it up, Tavard.
Well, and
Well, it looks cold.
I will. So I'll take it. Well, I'll pick it up by the handle, Adam. But I'll just tell the group. I was like, just kind of odd that she's like a some sort of ice druid, and this is an ice weapon. I mean, I don't know.
You think it belongs to Garnica?
Her or a
Could
friend
use
or
tea.
heck, I don't know. But I just think that's very coincidence. Here in the,
I'm starting to get tired of you guys returning our loot.
Well, I'm not
He gave
saying
us back the
I'm not saying
coins.
we can't hide it, right?
Hey, wait, I didn't clarify earlier, Serena. He gave us the coins back as payment, so we get to keep them.
Oh, thank God.
Here, you hold on to them. How about that? And I'll untie them and hand them to her.
That is a great plan.
It's
Adam,
probably
I'll just
not.
take a look.
How many coins am I adding to my inventory?
It's not. It's 35 unmarked gold pieces, so you may want to put it separate.
So Tavard, you've dealt with war picks before. You're proficient with them, I assume, based on being a dwarf, right?
Yeah.
So most war picks weigh 2 pounds. This thing feels like it weighs about 10.
Yeah, but it's a freaking war pick.
Nice.
Cool.
Very cool.
Let's
And
go
how-
find something for him to swing it at.
Is
How big is it?
two-handed?
Does it look like it's made to be used in two hands?
It could be, but you think somebody who's strong enough could use it in one?
10 pounds is a heavy weapon to one hand.
It is.
Yeah.
Let's go find that tree and he can swing it at it and see what happens.
Well, why don't you put your armor on first? Because your bulging muscles are embarrassing me.
Oh, good idea.
Really, Blixel? And us sitting outside a cave for 20 minutes while you get it on with some random elf woman is not embarrassing.
Listen, I didn't tell you to sit outside there. You could have gone and done whatever.
We didn't know what was going to happen. You said, I'll investigate, and then 20 minutes later you come out looking like a happy schoolboy.
No. I yelled down the tunnel. You knew what the score was. I was just having some fun. But, I'm just saying, those biceps are intimidating.
Also, don't forget your stuff, Serena. You left your armor and weapons over there.
Yeah, I'm re-equipping everything.
Okay.
So I tell the group about the tunnel that's underneath that ledge.
I think
Sounds
that's
like where the frog was. Yeah.
I say we don't go down that one.
Let's go kill it.
No, let's fucking leave.
At
Okay.
least go up the stairs here, so our back's not right to it when it jumps out and eats Tavard.
Look,
Tavor's
my brother
whatever
appears
his
to
name is.
have a great danger sense in terms of him being far away from it when it happens.
What'd you find? Looks wonderful, Tavard.
He's way up here. Are you proficient in
So-
war picks?
So I'll go ahead and say this because I don't know. I think this is going to be something that's going to be an Adam call another time, right? Because as a monk, I can use monk weapons, or any weapon that I know how to use, I can use as a monk weapon.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this would fall under that category, Adam, because it's like not really the same type of war pick, right, that the dwarfs would use.
Luckily for you, Tasha's has a new feature called Dedicated Weapon.
Dedicated weapon.
And as a monk, you can basically say, this is a monk weapon for me. So go ahead and
Right,
look
but
that
you
one
have
up.
to, right, but yeah, and I know that, but you have to. It's only a weapon that you know how to use. You can
And it
only
mu-
use that.
Yeah, and it must lack the heavy and special properties.
Oh, good call. Yeah, this does
Yep.
have Heppy, so that will not work for that piece. Yeah, good call.
Yep, that's what I
So
thought.
let me double check Monk real quick.
That's how I'm using the Warhammer, Adam, for the dedicated weapon.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so by default, you get simple weapons and short swords. And a war pick is considered martial. So, yeah, I would say this would not work for you, Tavern.
Yeah, well,
Oh no.
but if it was like I could use like a Warhammer or something like that. That's a dwarven according to the dwarven, but I don't think this here would fall under that because of the heavy. Is what I'm getting at. So
Yeah, it doesn't qualify for dedicated weapon because of that heavy property specifically, right?
yeah. Hey, this looks nice and all, but maybe somebody else.
Somebody with big biceps might use
Oh,
it.
that's a bummer. Well, it's going to be
Well,
hard to put down the cabbage harvester.
yes, I'm sure it would be. But don't you want to make sure that the cabbage harvester lasts?
But aren't you I mean, I've been watching you fight. It seems like you're really good with specifically that kind of weapon. The glaive? Is that what it's called that you have? Would you be able to use this one?
Like,
Yeah,
I won't be able to reach as far.
Yeah, she's a pull-on master too,
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm
it's
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
What if we
Well-
tied a bit of wood to the end of it?
I mean, like
could try
stilts,
it.
stilts
Modern
for a
problems.
weapon.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
Well,
We could
here-
always keep it for when somebody dies. I mean, just saying, right?
well,
well,
here, hang on, hear me out. I mean, I understand that primarily you'll fight with the glaive, but what if that becomes something taken from you or broken or you get disarmed? It's always nice to have two weapons.
I'm not saying we throw it away. I'm just saying.
I mean, I could use it.
Can
What?
you lift it?
Well, speak up sooner, Blixel.
I'm not the strongest, but if it does cool magic stuff, I'd rather do that than no one use it.
For
Well,
real.
give it a lift. See if you can pull it up.
I step out of his reach.
Okay.
take off the barnacles first. Get a good grip.
I sort of like them.
I kind of like them too.
So yeah, I have martial weapons.
That's right. That's the Pally's crossover. Eh?
Yeah, that would work for you.
I'm not gonna be able to dual wield with it, but if someone has a shield or something, maybe I could use that. But I guess I need a hand for spells as a bard too, right?
Well, then maybe it's perfect for you. Then also, we don't have to worry about you juggling blades in camp any longer.
Well, I'm not retiring the act. I'm just changing it up a little bit. I'll be juggling this soon enough.
Looks dangerous.
How do you know if it has, would you say, magical properties? Obviously, we've never seen something like that.
It's cold, super cold, right?
Is that how they all work? They're
Well,
cold.
give me 10 minutes and I could tell you.
Blixel's very familiar with cold magic at this point.
Apparently, he likes it cold. It's a permanent.
You know, there was nothing cold
Cerilia.
about that. I'll tell you that much.
Didn't Adam say her skin was cold to the touch, though?
Not like remarkably so.
It was,
Oh,
but
sure,
not that
sure.
it hurts you, is what I said.
Sure, but that's probably why it took 30 minutes.
He really didn't care.
So it's like the corpse wasn't cold too long.
Ugh. All right, Cerilia. I'm gonna get that frog back out here if you keep talking like that.
Well, I think you should practice with it, and use it, but yeah, if Celine, if she knows how to figure out what it does, then why not let her try?
Well, I can figure out if it's magical or not. If you want to spend 100 gold, I can on a pearl.
100 gold.
Where would we find 100 gold?
Well, you got. Well, I'm not saying we should.
We have a contract.
It'd be hard to find out here. I can tell you if it's magical. I don't think I can tell you exactly
will
what
have
it
to.
does.
It sounds like it's magical already, because that's what
It
we're all
looks. It
thinking.
looks
Yeah.
pretty magical.
It
But who
must be
cares? It's
magical.
cool.
I'll use it. I'll swing it into something. We'll see what happens. How about that?
Well, I like that plan. Okay. So, continue.
Hey, Adam. Back here on the. I got a cat in my lap. Move. Thank you.
So
I-
polite to your pets. I love it.
Oh, I have too many of them. Okay, so this way. Have we been in this area back here?
Briefly, yes.
Can you describe what I'm seeing there?
So this is a rock chamber, I guess you could call it. So think of it as similar to the other areas. If you step in a little bit further, you would notice that this is essentially a dead end.
All right. Because last time we were here, we were so distracted by saving Serena that we never really stepped in. Okay, cool.
Well, alright.
So to clarify, Blixel, is the shipwrecker on your belt? Is it in your hands? Where's it at?
Yeah, he's holding it in his hands. 2 hands if he has to. He wants to. I want to keep a hand free for spells if I need to, but and his swords are sheathed, so he's just holding it in his 2 hands or 1 hand if he can.
So you can hold it in one hand, but you get the impression it's not going to be effective as a weapon. Like you're going to have essentially disadvantage if you try to swing it one-handed.
Okay. I mean, in that case, he'll probably, if he attacks, he'll swing it 2-handed.
Okay. Yep.
And you can take your hand off for a turn to cast something if you.
Oh
have
yeah,
to.
for sure.
Yeah, you can still hold it.
Yeah. Yep. And that's the plan.
Well, I'm glad we had someone that could use it.
Yeah, I'm not strength based though, unfortunately. So.
Me, on the other hand, I like my daggers. Quick, efficient. I could draw it before you even got close with that thing. But to each their own.
Now that I don't have my axe anymore, I've got my favorite warhammer here. So
I said I'll buy you a new one. Alright, Serena, go on, lead on.
Let's hope it's not Garnica's, because I gotta give it to her, guys. More ways than one.
Wait, I think it's the other way, Serena.
yeah, that's.
But we
You're
didn't go that
exploring-
way. That was where the bugs were.
You're
we wanna
exploring new
check it out?
territory. We could do that.
Wait,
Like this-
I'm going the wrong way?
Yeah.
If you're trying to go down the holes, then yes, but if you're trying to explore a new area, then no, you're
We
going the
we
right way.
never went up this way.
I look at the ceiling to try to find more assassin bugs.
Okay. Yeah, you scan the ceiling, but you do not spot them.
Well, she did kill a lot of them.
RXP.
It appears to
Good.
keep going back here.
As you get to here, Serena, looking forward, you can see just the faintest hint of sunlight that seems to be streaming in from the north and hitting the ground here.
Ooh, this might be an exit.
Sunlight meaning not gray.
Meaning, yeah, the fog is gone.
That's why I said the faintest hint of sunlight.
The fog is not gone. The fog is rolling in through the exit.
Yes,
there's
and as
another
you
way
get
out.
to here, yes, you look north and you can see indeed this is out. So this is the essentially like the face of the mountainside or the hillside here. But indeed, you do see a lot of fog that is buffeting right up against here and trailing into this opening in the cave.
Well, if we need a quick exit, at least we know we don't have to go all the way back.
Well, is it an exit? He said it was the face of a mountain. Is there like a platform out there, or are we just
Let's go check it
dropping
out
down
just in case.
You never been sledding?
It just seems.
Tabard, if you head to the edge and kind of look out there, you see that it looks pretty rough. You think it would take a skilled climber to be able to move alongside the face here without, really risk of harming themselves.
How far up are we?
You're not sure. You can't see the bottom with the fog.
Okay.
So more than 10 feet at least.
Yeah, sounds dangerous.
Well, okay, so no head first dives out the side of the cliff, but I think we were all not going to do that anyways. So.
Well, if we did that, I do have a way to stop us from dying.
What?
Yeah.
What else
I learned from my experience with that horrible tree monster.
Jeez. You fall asleep and then all of a sudden you know 30 new things.
I know 6 new things.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I know like 5 new things.
What? This happens every time you sleep.
No.
That's how magic works. Brother, what about you? You learn anything new?
So I'm learning a lot at every minute of our adventure.
You're cut out for political speech, that's for sure.
I've developed an uncanny sense of when things are nearby aren't as they should be.
And
That seems oddly specific.
Why does it sound like you're reading that?
Wait, I'm confused. Is this the way to go?
Yeah, where's the way
well,
down?
If we're looking for the ladder, it's over this way.
And we're just looking
Yeah, it's
around.
that room.
Remember, she said she might find the key around here. So it's okay to look around.
I don't think the key is going to be out in the open.
Well, there's no dumb ideas, but we could keep our eyes open.
Sure.
Yoo-hoo, Garnica!
You call this down the hole, but you do not hear any response.
I wouldn't respond to
shimmying
that.
down. Yeah, who would? Honey, I'm home.
I forgot the children's bedtime.
Climbing down.
Okay, is it safe to assume that all of you are climbing down?
Aye,
Yes.
Yep.
Ideally not all at once, but yes.
All right, each of you climbs down in order.
Does it look the same as we left it?
As far as you can tell, yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe we explore before we talk. We've done a lot of talking today.
What's the matter? Not enough combat for you today?
I want to stab something. I've been shooting arrows from afar for too long. I want to get in a fist fight.
Now you're talking.
Me too.
Well, we didn't go right the other time.
All right, it is then.
But Garnica.
Blixel.
We gotta
Yeah.
wait at least 3 days.
What? No.
Yes.
3 days we'll be in a different place.
But if you wait more than 3 days, or less than 3 days, she'll begin to think you're clingy. So that's not good.
I don't care what she thinks.
I'm looking on the ceiling for slime.
That's also not good. You should really care what she thinks.
You do not see any saline.
They like that
I mean,
a lot.
I care what she thinks, but you know what I mean? I'm not looking for a long-term relationship here.
Yeah, we were hoping not.
And she's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's super powerful, but
I think we got a cave in here, don't you think, Tavern?
He is our resident stone man.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. Pretty simple. Yep. Looks like a good old-fashioned cave-in. Love it. I feel at home.
Was it on purpose? Somebody hiding something behind that wall.
Adam, can I take a look to see if it's natural or unnatural?
You sure can. Yeah, go ahead and throw me a blind check. It's hard to tell whether this is a result of just natural stuff or someone broke something here or this was tunneled by something. You're not quite sure, but what you do spot is in this rubble, you may notice if you zoom in very, very tightly here, there's some kind of a ceramic jar underneath some of this rubble.
I start digging.
Yep, I'll help.
Okay, yes, you are able to get to the jar. I presume that's what you mean by digging, right?
For starters, yeah.
And I'm showing her how to dig, Adam. I mean, some people don't know how to dig like us dwarfs do, proper, you know.
We're gonna go through every dwarven stereotype.
There's a way to do it, you know.
Serena doesn't kill him for dwarf splaining.
All right, you managed to procure this urn from underneath the rubble, and yeah, it's got a lot of dust and debris on its top. You can see there's this sort of like rubber stopper in the top. It looks like it's made of some kind of ceramic or clay, and you can see there is this sort of like faint writing that seems to in a circular pattern around this ceramic vase.
Serena's just going to pass it along, but she wants to make sure that it doesn't seem like if she were to keep digging, she could make progress or something like that.
And
So I will say, Serena, unless you had heavy equipment, you don't think you could make progress just by like moving the rocks.
All right. Think it's a dead end, guys.
Adam, can I read the writing on the jar at all?
Do you happen? Well, what I will say is that because you speak Anwirian, which is common in this land, you recognize some of it, but not all of it, which leads you to believe this is what's known as Andu or Old Anwirian.
Yeah, that's not one of the languages I picked, I think. So
Right.
I'll hand it around. There may be somebody else who's smarter than me. So
I don't actually have this one.
Nope.
You just know it. You just know it's old, though. That's the good thing.
I speak Honorian and Caramel.
there you go.
Urag is the like orcish language, right?
Yes, there are actually no orcs in this world. Orogs are like sort of like from a developer standpoint, kind of like a stand-in for orcs. I've always thought.
Orc adjacent.
So as you say, you pass this around, Tabard. Am I to assume that this urn is in your possession and you're holding it out to others?
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay, I'm moving it off screen because I'm assuming it is now in your possession.
It's interesting that... Did you find it in the rubble? It's interesting that it wasn't damaged in the cave-in.
You know what I didn't look for is maybe somebody was carrying it out there, right? You know, maybe there's a body there. Maybe I should check that. What do you think?
Well, I can go with you, give you some light, but should we pop it open? See what's inside.
I'll jingle it a little bit very carefully, Adam. Do I hear like a silver key inside of it or anything?
No, you don't hear anything rattle around inside of it.
Oh man, no rattle.
So Adam, you said he could read some of it. Is that
yes. Yep. So think.
Like,
so think of it like this.
Old English.
Right. Exactly.
Like if you're reading like.
Yeah,
not even necessarily Shakespearean, but like
yeah,
older than that.
Yeah, I get that, but so what can he come out from the stuff that he knows some of it?
So Tabard, go ahead, give me a blind check to see how much of this you can sort of piece together.
Didn't Serena mention put down that she can read it?
No,
is that
she has common. Old Anurian is something different.
Just so we can clarify, what are the 7 languages you speak? Let's just throw it out there. What's everybody speak, so we know?
I mean, out of character.
Done.
Yeah. I've got common, Basargi, Rejuven. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Rejuven.
Rejuven. Dwarvish, Elvish, Goblin, and Celestial.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, Tavern, as you're kind of examining this, and I imagine you're kind of holding it up, you have the light from Vin next to you, so it's sort of illuminated, and you're kind of spinning it slowly. The few words that you can make out based on the differences between Old Andu and current Anwirian, you see the word protector, you see the word soldier, and you see the word grow.
Nice, nice.
Is that magical too?
Well, it's got to be. It didn't get destroyed in the cave-in.
You would think it would be crushed.
Adam, I'm gonna just well, first, anyone want to hold the jug while I start looking to see if maybe there's a body holding
Yeah.
it?
I'll hold it. Yeah, sure.
Adam, I just want to kind of dig around here, see if maybe, maybe I find a skeleton, or I mean, I don't know, right?
Okay, sure, yeah, another blind check, Tavern.
And am I remembering correctly? The whole Tagarnica's lair was here.
You are not remembering correctly.
Yeah,
No,
that's not
it was
even
further
Yeah,
on.
that was like
Oh.
top of the map almost.
close. You were thinking with the wrong head, brother.
Tavern,
Okay.
you do not find anything else in here, like a skeleton or anything along those lines.
And I'm sure I rolled well too, so there's definitely not anything there. Very odd that a jug would just walk up over here.
I'm inclined to agree.
Is there
Yeah, you
liquid
can
in there?
take it
You
back.
you can sense nothing inside.
No.
Adam, does it sound like there's any liquid, or does it feel like it's air? Or,
So to
or
clarify, it's been passed back to Tavern now, and you have it in your two hands?
Why is that pertinent?
Yes.
I don't
Okay,
trust.
I was seeing if he was handed over to me, so he said yes. So
Yeah. I had handed it back after you came back and saw nothing.
Okay, so you're kind of like holding it up to your ear and shaking it to try to see if you can hear what's inside of it?
yes.
You don't hear anything. So no liquid, no rattling. There doesn't seem to be, based on what you're hearing, you assume there's nothing in it.
Wondering if it's another genie.
Maybe let's not open it in an enclosed space. The word grow makes me nervous. Maybe it's what caused the cave-in.
I got lucky once. I doubt I could be lucky twice.
Yeah, but protector and soldier aren't necessarily that bad of words to see on something. But either way, we can keep it. Finders keepers and all.
Regardless, this jug doesn't want to be here anyway, so gotta bring it someplace nice.
Ooh, I see something on the ground ahead of us. The blood.
Isn't this where the cave fissures were?
Don't remember.
Yes, it was. I remember. The body's gone. Remember we left it here?
Well, yeah, I would have taken it and eaten it too. It was delicious.
Well, that means something dragged it off. So we're not alone down here.
Ooh. You just spooked Band so bad. Look at where he's at now.
It ran way back. We didn't go to the south area.
The what?
Whatever, but yeah.
I don't necessarily remember which route we took last time we came.
We went north.
So yeah, this was like a dead end-ish, I think, where the cave fishers were, and then we circled back around the direction. Serena's going.
That is where those two things were hanging up on the walls there.
Yeah.
I go
I've
on
been in this area here before. This is where I was trying to sneak attack on them.
So
Okay.
which way do we go? Same way
North.
Serena's going now? Okay, let's
Yep.
go.
I think I hit a dead end.
I think you have computer issues.
Yes. Appears to be. This is where Blixel got eaten almost.
Yep. That's the spot.
Just don't step 15 feet.
It looks like it continues, but it gets skinnier and skinnier.
I think we also
need-
established last time that that was a dead end.
I don't know. It's too skinny for me to go. But you're small enough to fit back there, Saline.
That seems like a really bad idea. Besides, Serena checked it out yesterday.
Do it, Celine.
I trust Serena and her investigative acumen.
Sure. That's what it is.
Garnica.
Acumen.
You hear no response as you call out Blixel.
Are we
It's funny
leaving
to
Serena
see.
behind again?
I'm back
thought
here
you
with I'm back here with Serena right now. Okay, there's
Hey,
Oh,
are you
hold
stuck?
Wait, hold up.
Let him catch up. We learned this before. It's not a good idea to get too.
Sorry.
You're good.
I've heard what always makes a really good husband-wife gift is a new computer, by the way.
Hint,
Were
hint,
they
hint.
like $100 now? Like seriously?
I've been asking him to set one up. There's computer parts spewed all over our basement.
I just got him in trouble. Sorry there.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, it was the computer comment and not the make-believe love affair he's having.
As you turn the corner here, Blixel, you do spot the same green slime that you know pretty well as you passed under it just yesterday.
And just to clarify, earlier when somebody brought up that mistletoe, Adam, from last week, and how it was it a spell or did she just blow a bunch of mistletoe out?
You don't know, but Blixel could tell you that the distance between this opening and the other opening, you would have to be one heck of a blower to be able to get mistletoe all the way over there without magic.
Oh my
Well, Blixel
God.
would know, right?
No.
Well, Blixel, was she?
No, she used magic on that, I'm pretty sure.
So it's not like we
Enlarge, reduce.
I
No,
thought
but
it was just bits of mistletoe.
Yeah, it's regular mistletoe, I think. But I don't have
any.
any of that, do you?
No, I don't carry it around. But just in the future, I mean, I like to remember these things. If we're in a cave and want to avoid green slime, well, we need mistletoe. So maybe not avoiding it in the future. Well, I'll carry it around, you know.
Oh, for sure. Garnica! It's Blixel! Hello!
You hear no response, Blixel.
He's going to get his heart broken.
Well, let's go look for the key. And
Should
maybe
make
she'll
for
be
some
back.
good songs.
No, this is casual.
So Adam, we're looking for more slime on the ceiling. Is that
You spot some.
Yeah, but that's what we see, right? There's nothing else
Yeah.
that we see that's not on the map.
You haven't spotted any other that is not on the map.
Adam, does it look safe if I go south and take that edge?
It does, yep.
I'm keep looking up as well.
I shamelessly am taking steps directly after saline. So if acid hits us,
I mean,
it's
I'm
both of them.
following Blitzel.
I
So.
know. I'm just saying.
You guys good back there? You got enough light and everything? Watch out, Serena.
Okay, I'm going to lock the tokens there and see if anybody spotted this patch before Tavern just walked under it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Do we roll for that?
Nope, I got your group check. So, Tabard, as you're moving closer, Serena, you notice that as Tabard is like here, and he's getting ready to move southeast, you spot this green slime in the darkness.
Tavern, freeze! It's slime!
Thank you. That
Well,
stuff makes horrible hair gel.
It's almost like I can see really well in the dark for some reason.
Yeah, why is that?
here, you go in front of me.
Adam, needless to say, I'm still looking as well. So.
Yep, I will assume you always got your passive. So unless you stop and actively look, you're relying on passive.
Man, this is the biggest cave I've ever explored.
Yeah, and there's a vault down here somewhere too.
Serena,
I haven't had.
as you step across this threshold area here, you and Tavern both can hear a raspy, whispered voice that says, "Someone's coming."
Did you guys hear that?
Hear what?
I'll look back and go, shh.
Okay.
A whispered voice is warning us of someone coming.
Or are they warning the people they're with that we're coming?
And with that, you hear some whispered words as suddenly light springs forth from the north.
Yeah, it's probably them telling their other person that we're coming.
Everybody hide.
I'm literally shining.
No, let's go find out who they are. Is it Garnica?
I'd love to shoot
Yeah.
an arrow at you, brother.
Hey, just everybody kind of get around the corner. I'll call them around the corner. Be ready. Excuse me. We hear you. Is that you, Garnica?
It is. If it's just you, come on down.
What if it's not just me?
Oh, I didn't mean you personally, dearie. I meant your group.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. We're good. It's just
Basically,
Garnica.
she just said, not your turn.
Given our last encounter, it's like easy mistake.
He thought he was next.
Does it sound like her, Adam?
It does, yes. All right, as you get line of sight to her, Blixel, you can see she is holding a torch now, and she's holding it up like towards you. And as you guys are lit up now, thanks to Vin's light, she can see you as well. And you see she has that same placid look on her face as you begin to approach.
Hey, Garnica, how you doing?
I am still flummoxed by these doors. And you see she motions to the west. There must be some way to get through them, but so far, None of my efforts have proven successful.
Were, were you with someone here like a second ago? Were you talking to somebody?
And you see she smiles and says, no.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't care. If you're seeing other guys, like to know just for my own sake. But, um, you know anything about this mist that's going on out there?
Mist?
Yeah, there's like a fog over everything. Everyone started going crazy, and then lightning started shooting down.
That sounds quite unusual. The weather of this land never impresses me more than when it is chaotic and wild.
Well, you should get out in that fog then, because it is. People were crying. I saw my dead mother. It was
Oh,
wild.
whoa, second date conversation, dude.
That does not sound natural at all. I suppose there was something more at play there than what you knew.
Um, well, we were just coming to check in with you, I guess. See what you're up to. Anybody else want to ask Arnica anything?
Yes, the entire reason we came down here was not to ask about the fog. It was the tree monster.
Oh, yeah. The tree monster. All right,
Wrong head.
go. Yeah, you explain it better because I wasn't really listening when Darwin was talking about that thing.
Tavern, you notice as you step past her and up towards the door, she narrows her eyes at you. You get this impression of almost like, if you think you can figure this out, you must be out of your mind.
Oh,
I think it needs a key.
I'm just curious.
Time to roll.
Well, I don't want to be inconsiderate, but have you tried to pick the lock?
That is not one of my skills, but I would not recommend trying that. If this is indeed what I suspect it is, well, your tools would simply be frozen.
Well, that sucks. Okay,
Adam, I'm going to
well,
ask a strange, stupid question that you just never know. It could be right sometime. So, would the edge of the pickaxe fit in as a key into this hole?
No, as you eye it over there in Blixel's hands, and you eye sort of the hole in the wall or in the key in the door, no, it doesn't look like it is the same shape.
I've played video games, so that may have worked. So I'm just saying.
Absolutely could
no,
have, sure.
we were on par with you. I'll look at Garnica and say, well, we've been tasked with tracking down this iron bark tree. It has many names, but essentially, it it has a creature that has been spotted that lives within it, and it has been known to come out from within the tree itself. And well, we've obviously never heard of anything like that. So can you prepare us for that encounter?
It sounds like some variety of dryad based on that description, but there are many different kinds. Without more details, I don't know how much help I can give.
What details do you need?
What is the environment like around the tree? Is it healthy green grass? Is it a bog, a swamp? Is it corrupted lands?
I get it. No. I didn't know you needed a freaking
Well-
landscape plan.
well,
It's dead trees.
Yeah, Darwin said there were a lot of dead trees around.
Yeah, it's the only alive tree for a circle of, I don't know, 20 feet of trees. Everything's ash. Like it's been burned.
Oh, I see. Well, then that is likely a corrupted dryad who is clinging on to her home. You see, dryads are bonded to trees. It is the only way they live. And if the land around her has been corrupted, burned, and so forth, then that will have seeped into her as well. And, well, corrupted dryads are quite ornery.
Well, can we unornery it, or should we just take it out of its misery?
You can't. Others, more talented, probably could, but your choices are your own.
By more talented, did you mean magic?
Yes, quite potent magic would be needed to restore a corrupted dryad.
What if we didn't want to restore it, but maybe move it?
Move an ironbark tree?
Move the dryad.
No, that would not work. You see, the dryad is bonded to that specific tree. It cannot move far from it, or it will die.
Yeah, well.
So I'm gonna tell her about the inside the water. Ask her if she's seen that cave.
Underneath the water, the tunnel you're talking about?
Yep. I'm gonna let her know. We found a where that frog creature was that we told you about earlier. We found that there's a cavern or a cave inside the water there and everything. Have you searched there for maybe your missing key?
I have not. I did not even know that was there. Good eyes. Perhaps that is where I will check next. I don't imagine the key. This place is very, very old. If the key was just randomly somewhere around, that would be quite surprising, but not impossible, I suppose.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we checked the bottom of a lake.
Bottom of the lake?
Well, a pond. I might have been exaggerating.
It's where we found that cave Tavard was telling you about. We swam to the bottom, 40 feet or so. The cave was, what'd you say, 30? Tavard.
Yeah, about 40 feet down.
I will certainly look into that once I am done here. And you see she flings the torch back over, pushing it more closer to the doors, and she looks at it and she says, "It just does not make any sense. It's almost as though someone was intentionally trying to keep somebody like me out."
And why would that be? What do you think is beyond those doors?
Why it would be? Well, that's the question I've been trying to answer since I first found this area. As for what is behind there, well, it is certainly one of the protected areas. And if the artifact that I suspect is here, it will be well protected.
Are you saying we could try it?
Well, if you wish to, but your lives would be forfeit.
Well, let's not do that.
Oh, uh,
Serena goes up and jiggles the handle.
Yep, so it kind of got this weird looking style. Think of it like almost like a white alabaster door with this pale bluish shading. The handles themselves are just simple circular handles. You reach out, tug on it, and yeah, it certainly is locked.
Okay, official diagnosis, it's locked.
You notice Blixel, she looks back towards you and kind of gives you this like, really look.
You know, they're not all as cool as me. I'm working on them, though, Garnica.
She gives you this slight wink and the smile before she turns back to the door.
I'm gonna mention that crack in the wall as well, Adam. That I don't know where to describe where it is, how to describe that, but that crack that we saw, and I'll let her know. Hey, we were wondering if maybe that maybe led to something. Maybe there's some rats or something that were able to get in there.
Possibly, but why would rats take a key? That does not seem very likely.
I've had pet rats before. Trust me, they take everything. I'll just say, Bill has had pet rats who does feel that they do take whatever they want, and ferrets too.
You see she nods slightly, but you get the impression she doesn't really put a lot of stake into
Humoring it.
that.
Yeah, I was wondering if she would have said, "Yo, I've already tried down there," and then that way we would have solved us a thing. What about? Do you know what's on the other side of that cave-in?
Cave-in? No, oh, the spot just when you descend to this level? I did see that, but no, I don't believe there is anything on the other side. I searched that area fairly well, but wasn't able to discover much.
as Tavern hides his honey jar.
Garnica, um, I got something that I wanted to ask you. You ever feel like you're being watched by something?
Oh, all of the time.
Because I had a weird dream about us.
Oh, do tell.
Hey, well, when we met and we, fooled around and stuff, it was like then, but I looked up at the ceiling and I saw a big blue eye looking down on us. Now, it freaked me out. I wasn't into it in the dream and I woke up.
You notice her smile falters for like a half a second before she puts it right back up. You get the impression this was probably like an involuntary thing. And then she reaches out and she grasps onto your wrist gently and kind of taps, and she says, "This is nothing to worry about, Blixel. I would say that there's nothing you can do about this one way or the other, so it's best not to trouble yourself."
Oh, okay. So don't worry about it. All right.
Yes, that is right.
I'm gonna show her the jug, just because. I'm gonna do it.
All right, so you pull the pot out, the vase, and you kind of show it to her, and you see she looks at it and says, "Oh, old Andu. I must say I am not proficient in this language, but perhaps I can make out a little bit. Have you all looked at this already?"
Yeah, we don't understand it, and it looks pretty. So.
Yeah, it feels empty.
No slushing or sloshing.
You see she kind of like puts her fingers along it and then traces it, and then you see she kind of pulls her hand back and looks at her fingers and then looks back at the jar, and she says, "I can make enough of the words out of this to know that what is inside is something you don't want to mess with. It looks to be some kind of an undead creature, if I'm reading this right."
Oh. So if we open it, something bad will pop out of it?
Yes, indeed. It seems as though this creature was stored inside and it can replicate itself.
Oh boy. Well, what about this thing? And he'll hold out the war pick just to make sure it's not bad.
You see she reaches her hand out and she touches upon it and actually starts pulling it away from you if you let her.
Just give it back to me when you're done, okay?
You see her eyes are focused on it, and you're not sure she even heard you, and she says, my, the shipwrecker. Wow. Well, this is quite interesting. You found this nearby?
Yeah.
Finders keepers.
Tell her that we could tell her where we found it. Just
Yeah. We found it in the this big pool.
You see she turns, looks at the door, clenches the war pick with both hands, turns the hammerhead to the door, steps up and swings it, and you see the door smashes open.
She found the key.
I got it for you. Blixel, to the rescue.
Blixel.
That was a
Sounds like
key
he
the
did
whole
it.
time?
Hey.
She looks through the doorway and then she looks back at you all and she puts her hand up and she says, "I go along alone. This is far too dangerous for the likes of you all."
Can I have the thing back, shipwrecker?
You see she looks towards it and she looks back towards you and she says, "I may need this to open other doors inside. Couldn't I keep it for just a little bit, Blixel?"
Blixel looks from her and then looks at the rest of the party and looks back at her. Yeah, of course, baby.
Well, if you'll survive, then you could protect us, right? What if we come along with it, and who knows, maybe we might need to help you.
"I can protect myself quite well. I'm quite good at that, but protecting 6 others, I don't think that I can guarantee that. And the dangers that are within would be far more dangerous than you have faced thus far. If you really wish to take on such a great risk, I will allow you in, but I will not be responsible for any of your deaths.
This is the DM signaling that we are not supposed to do this, but
That is right.
The
I
answer is
picked it
nope.
up. I picked up what he was
Uh,
putting down.
I mean, Garnica, she's really smart, guys. If she says we're not ready for this, I don't think we are.
She said she couldn't protect all 6 of us, so Blixel, you can go with her. And tell
One,
her
maybe.
What did he say, baby? I come with you?
I was kidding, man.
You see she looks back towards you and smiles and says, I wouldn't risk you for anything.
All right, cool. Well, I guess is it going to take you a while in there, or what's the deal with this?
It is hard to say. Some of these locations are very large, with numerous rooms inside. Others are small. I will have to see what I find inside.
All right, I guess we'll come back to you then, all right?
Yes, feel free to wait in my cave room down below if you wish. This may take several hours or longer. Or you may, of course, go on your own way. Once I find what I am looking for, I will be sure to say goodbye before I leave this area.
All right, sounds good. All right, come on, guys.
Yeah, she gave us what we needed.
Yeah,
Well,
and
a little bit.
most
She told us a little more about the Dryad.
yeah, more importantly, what do I do with this jug? I don't want it anymore.
Let's just leave it here and not open it.
You
Put
see
it down
she steps
carefully.
through the door and closes the door behind her. All right, and you want to leave the jug here, you said, Tavern?
Heck
Uh,
yeah,
I'll-
somewhere. I don't know
Not
where, but
I'll take it.
No, leave it behind.
I
It's
have an
gonna come
idea
back to
for
bite
it.
our ass.
Wait, why?
Yeah, I have an idea for it already.
It's bad, Serena. The Garnica told us it has a powerful undead presence inside of it.
that can
Yeah.
duplicate itself.
Yeah, I have a perfect person to set it upon.
Sounds useful.
Yeah,
What?
the undead give me the
No.
willies.
You know
All
what's
you
gonna
gotta
be?
do, all you gotta do is open it in the camp where Var is, and then we don't have to kill nobody.
Too soon, brother. How about we open it in front of our fucking uncle?
Let's not open it at all. I think we just leave it be.
I agree
Wait,
with
what,
Blixel.
Uncle?
I agree with Blixel. I think we should leave this here. I think if we try
Nope.
to open it, it's just gonna come back to bite
Someone's
us.
gonna like wake up in the middle of the night and unscrew it looking for peanut butter, and all of a sudden we're dealing with a ghost.
Or knock it
Is that
over
wh-
when they're going to the bathroom.
Is that where my peanut butter went?
Yeah, oops, all ghosts.
We should save it for when we're in a really tough spot.
I'm inclined to agree of keeping it, personally.
Oh boy,
I
Thank
agree
you,
with
Jack.
you, brother.
Enemies.
You guys.
you guys are messing with dark powers.
What do you think, Tavern? It sounds like it's 3 versus 3.
Tavern's like sitting there going, "Yeah, let's bring an axe killer to Christmas dinner today. Yeah, this sounds like fun."
I think this jug is gonna get jostled at some point. It's gonna open up, and we're gonna have a big problem to deal with.
Who's carrying it if we are
Not
carrying it?
I.
Nope.
Well, the one who
I'll carry it.
jostles the least. It has to be
People
you,
that want to
Sadie.
keep it carry it.
I'll carry it.
Just for
I'm
reference, I-
It's too young. We're too new to not be carrying everything we need to carry.
She's a
cursed
Baldur's
item.
Gate loot goblin.
just for reference, I do not have turn undead. So
And just so you guys are aware, I played Baldur's Gate with Brian and Jordan, and those are loot goblins. I'm talking about bones, bottles, everything.
Hey, everything's got a
everything is
purpose, right?
it's worth something, even if it's like 1 copper.
We get back to like any of the cities, and they'd be like, "All right, I'm going off to the merchant." It'd be 15 minutes.
Well, that's because you had to wait back then, right? They didn't put that fix in. We had to do it one by one. That's what made it take so long.
Yeah, sure. That's what made it take so long.
Look, I don't appreciate being judged like this.
All right, Cerilia, go ahead and add ceramic vase to your character sheet so we know that you're the one that has it.
I am
And guys,
taking it off.
Yep. And guys, we are like 5 minutes over. I wanted to go a little bit over because we had a little bit of a late start here. But give me an idea of what you guys are planning to do next.
Dryad killing. I mean, dealing with.
We don't
Yeah,
have any
I feel,
reason to be in here any longer, so I assume we'll probably get out, right, guys?
yeah, I feel like we've explored everything we're able to with our current skill set down here. So I think we go up, wait for the fog to clear, or at least start dissipating before we walk blindly north and hope we find something, because we're never going to find it if
Yeah.
we do
I
that.
mean,
Yeah.
the minute the fog's gone, we'll go to
Yeah.
the tree and figure that out. But it's not corrupted dryad. Sounds like we just need to take care of it.
Sounds like we
If
can kill it.
if the fog sticks around for a while, like multiple hours, though, Blixel will go to Garnica's chambers after a
Sure.
while if they're not able to
That
leave.
sounds fair. Like if it's a full day of having to wait for the fog Adam, I wouldn't see a problem with coming back to see what she found and if she's safe, and see
Okay.
if we can get the shipwrecker back.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. You know,
No, I think that was part of the
new
plan.
bay.
I will say this: just remember her warning that said, "You guys, there's no way you guys are strong enough to defeat that dryad." But I mean, I'm all game for it. I'm just pointing that out.
What?
Oh,
No.
did
What
she say
what
that
she said
too?
was what she said was that we couldn't purify her, right, Adam? That I
Yeah.
thought that was the question that was asked.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we
all right.
we couldn't like turn her back to normal, but we could probably kill her.
Okay.
All right, so I got your plan then. So you guys are waiting for fog to lift and then head out to the ironbark tree and see what you guys find out from there.
True.
All right. Excellent. Great session, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We will pick up again next week and continue the adventure then.
It was
Good
a
night,
fun
y'all.
session. Have a
Good
good
work,
week, guys.
everybody.
Night, everyone.
Yeah.
Have a
Night,
good week,
guys.
everybody. See ya.